Chapter 493, Ranking of Human Civilization Evolution Paths. Subscribe please. _2 His talent and aptitude were sufficient to rank in the top 10, even top 20, in the annals of human history. An eighth stage of martial arts already created so quickly. Xia Qin Supreme Being found it somewhat unbelievable. Completing the eighth stage of martial arts meant that Lin Yuan had thoroughly completed the eighth stage. But how long had Lin Yuan stepped into the eighth stage? Moreover, Xia Qin Supreme Being deeply understood the difficulty of establishing the eighth stage chapter. In such a short period, progressing from the early phase of the eighth stage to the peak was very hard to achieve, let alone creating the eighth stage chapter from scratch. Xia Qin Supreme Being, overlooking the cosmic starry sky, had seen countless geniuses. When he first met Lin Yuan, he recognized that his talent was among the top 10 or 20 in the history of human civilization, yet he felt little emotional fluctuation. Being among the top 10 or 20 in human history was indeed monstrous, but it was just monstrous, and if one didn't become a supreme being, one would eventually fade from history. However, now, with Lin Yuan pioneering the eighth stage chapter, Xia Qin Supreme Being was genuinely astounded. This was too fast. The three goddesses wouldn't deceive him. If the eighth stage chapter created by Lin Yuan didn't meet the standards, it would have been outright rejected. Since they informed them, the supreme beings, to confirm it, it was the three goddesses believing the eighth stage chapter had no issues. Let me take a look. Xia Qin Supreme Being immediately reviewed the content of the eighth stage martial Tao. At the level of supreme beings, reviewing the eighth stage chapter was not difficult at all. Soon, the three supreme beings had finished reviewing the eighth stage martial Tao. This eighth stage chapter, Xia Qin Supreme Being fell into thought. Even with his level, he could perceive the potential of the eighth stage martial Tao. It encompassed all paths of power, practically including all forms of strength, and Xia Qin could even sense that the eighth stage chapter of the martial arts evolution system could extend into various cosmic forces. Has the identity of this evolutionary path's founder been confirmed? Is he not an alien pawn? Ancient Power Supreme Being, having finished reading, directly asked the Goddess of Wisdom. He saw the potential of the martial arts evolution system and had to ensure that its creator was of the human race. Otherwise, it would prompt human civilization to resort to relentless assassination. He is of the human race. Xia Qin Supreme Being has also personally confirmed it. The Goddess of Wisdom answered. Xia Qin confirmed it. Ancient Power Supreme Being nodded slightly, asking no further questions and giving no comment. However, from the swift confirmation request to the Goddess of Wisdom about the martial Tao founder's background, one could see the importance the Supreme Being attached. Kill if not of our race. Xia Qin, your insight is not bad. Feather Butterfly Supreme Being, a graceful woman, glanced at Xia Qin Supreme Being. Among the 9 supreme beings of human civilization, Feather Butterfly Supreme Being was very special, being the ultimate of the virtual world evolutionary path and not skilled in direct combat. Yet, the importance of Feather Butterfly Supreme Being to human civilization was no less than any other supreme being, as the virtual world that covered the territory of human civilization stemmed from Feather Butterfly Supreme Being's authority. Hee. Xia Qin Supreme Being smiled slightly. Not long ago, he met Lin Yuan and, after awarding him the soul-settling pearl, still felt it was not secure, so he asked Feather Butterfly Supreme Being to pay extra attention to Lin Yuan. Being the origin of the virtual world, the network of which encompassed territories was within Feather Butterfly Supreme Being's sensing range. Asking Feather Butterfly Supreme Being to watch Lin Yuan essentially eliminated the possibility of other alien races upsetting the situation by sending 9th rank or higher beings to assassinate Lin Yuan. Of course, Feather Butterfly Supreme Being was just keeping an extra eye on Lin Yuan, not acting as a nanny. Unless Lin Yuan faced the risk of complete downfall, where all avatars and the main body died and resurrection was impossible, would Feather Butterfly Supreme Being step in to interfere. As for other dangers, In the eyes of Feather Butterfly's supreme being, facing moderate danger or life-threatening peril was actually a good thing. Xia Qin Supreme Being, Feather Butterfly's supreme being, Ancient Power Supreme Being, since you have no objections after discussing this 8th stage chapter, valued at 22 million merit points, do you agree? The Goddess of Wisdom spoke again. 22 million merit points. Xia Qin Supreme Being's expression remained calm. A normal evolutionary path's 8th stage chapter typically range from 8 million to 10 million merit points. An exceptionally good 8th stage chapter might reach 15 to 18 million merit points. An 8th stage chapter exceeding 22 million merit points was not merely excellent, but possessed a unique specialty. I agree. Xia Qin Supreme Being nodded. I agree. I agree too. Feather Butterfly Supreme Being and Ancient Power Supreme Being also nodded in succession. The various cosmic forces involved in the 8th stage martial Tao fully justified its merit point value. That was the power of the cosmos. Even grasping just one type would bring great benefits after stepping into the 9th rank. Milky Way Main Star. Lin Yuan's consciousness connected to the virtual world, and he entered the shopping interface to select suitable energy crystals. The inner world spanned over 20 million miles and needed to be expanded, and Lin Yuan now urgently needed a large amount of energy to support the virtual world. As for slowly absorbing energy from the universe, that method was far too inefficient, and massively absorbing energy from the universe would bring irreparable effects to the Milky Way main star. This one then. Lin Yuan finally made a choice. Time Micro Clear Crystal. The core energy from the universe mystery Time Micro Secret Realm. Although its material quality was not as pure as the red spirit fluid from the red Kuan lineage, but it was more than sufficient for the expansion of the inner world. 80,000 cubic cosmic crystals. Lin Yuan estimated the cost needed for the expansion of the inner world to 37,500,000 miles and immediately felt as though his heart was bleeding. He had employed thunderous methods to scour the special beings and alien lone walkers in the Milky Way star region, obtaining treasures valued at just over 100,000 cubic cosmic crystals. These had barely warmed up when he had to spend a part again. It doesn't matter, as long as I become stronger. Killing a few alien strong ones will make it all come back, right? 80,000 cubic cosmic crystals? It's just the price of a half-8th stage invincible being, Lin Yuan consoled himself, while painfully transferring out the cosmic crystals. Will it arrive soon? Lin Yuan checked the delivery time. The Time Micro Clear Crystal worth 80,000 cubic cosmic crystals would arrive at the Milky Way main star in about half a month. Next, let the power of creation inside the inner world transform entirely into cosmic force. Lin Yuan began to remove the isolation of the inner world from the outside world. In an instant, dozens of types of power of creation began to actively adapt to the main world, especially that strand of primal force, whose vibrations nearly shook the inner world of 10 million miles. Once the inner world expands to 37,500,000 miles, it'll start absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd, expanding it to near 100 million miles. Lin Yuan thought to himself. With the spirit realm continuously absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd, the enhancement it brings to the physical body divine ability blood rebirth was substantial. Next, Lin Yuan reabsorbing it once more would not take much time. Just over 10 days would suffice for recovery. Half a day later, the voice of the Goddess of Wisdom suddenly came. Respected Galaxy Master, the evaluation of your uploaded 8th layer part has been completed. Completed? Lin Yuan's eyes brightened, and he immediately asked, worth how many merit points? Respected Galaxy Master, the 8th layer part you uploaded is valued at 22 million merit points. The tone of the Goddess of Wisdom was solemn and cold. 22 million merit points. Lin Yuan took a deep breath. He remembered that the 7th rank chapter was valued at only 3 million merit points. Now, the 8th layer part was valued at 22 million merit points, achieving an increase of 8 to 9 times. The three goddesses highly rated the 8th layer part. Lin Yuan thought silently, or perhaps it's not just the three goddesses. The time taken by the three goddesses to evaluate the 8th layer part this time was much longer than before. 22 million merit points. Lin Yuan's face showed a smile that was equivalent to the merit points obtained from completely killing over 28th rank strong beings. These were complete kills, not just killing an avatar or similar. In the battlefields of different races, killing over 28th rank of different species was as difficult as reaching the heavens. This wasn't a matter of strength but the fact that after an evolver had killed 3 or 4 8th rank different species, all the alien strong ones would take notice, and those 8th rank aliens would turn and run at the sight of you. Any human evolver, who had killed more than a dozen 8th rank aliens, just had to appear on any alien battlefield and would immediately face counterparts, even 8th stage invincible beings. Right. Let's look at the rankings. With a thought, Lin Yuan looked toward the latest rankings in the martial path evolutionary path. Chapter 494 Sala, Our Chance is Here. Please subscribe. At the moment when the three goddesses completed their assessment of the 8th stage martial Tao part, the real-time rankings of the martial path evolutionary path would be updated. Of course, only Lin Yuan had access to these updates. As for outsiders, they would have to wait until the evolution rankings across all boards were simultaneously updated at dawn each day to see them. Martial Path Evolutionary Path. Qikuan Star Domain Ranking. First, Lin Yuan glanced at the Qikuan Evolution rankings, not at all surprised. When the Martial Path Evolutionary Path was still at the 7th rank, it had managed to dominate over the two major 8th rank evolution paths, ranking 2nd on the Qikuan Evolution rankings. Now that he had uploaded the 8th layer part, the evaluation had greatly improved, leaping to 1st place on the Qikuan Evolution rankings, completely expected. First place on the Anan Evolution rankings too. Lin Yuan skimmed through the higher level rankings. The Anan Evolution rankings, belonging to the Anan Star Alliance, listed the strongest top 100 evolution paths born within a star alliance. The Qikuan star domain was under the Anan Star Alliance. The number of star domains encompassed by a single star alliance was generally in the hundreds to thousands. Lin Yuan remembered that, when the martial path evolutionary path was at the 7th rank, it ranked exactly 100th on the Anan Evolution rankings. The top 100 strongest evolution paths recorded by the Anan Star Alliance included 5 9th stage evolution paths. Even so, the martial path evolutionary path still managed to assert itself as the leader of its rankings, illustrating the emphasis the three goddesses placed on it. This exposure will definitely cause a surge in the number of evolvers following the martial path evolutionary path. Lin Yuan felt pleased. The evolution rankings of the great star domains and star alliances, apart from being a recognition for the listed evolution paths, serve as a significant avenue for exposure. In any publicly accessible virtual world, the central plaza area is invariably located at the most central position. And the evolution rankings will be displayed at the very heart of the central plaza area. Any evolver entering the virtual world for the first time is almost forcibly made to view the evolution paths on the evolution rankings. Let's take a look at the Southern Star Region evolution rankings. Not in the top 100, Lin Yuan continued to look further up, slightly shaking his head. The Southern Star Region is one of the 5 major star regions of human civilization. Besides the Southern Star Region, there are also the Eastern Star Region, the Western Star Region, the Northern Star Region, and the Central Star Region. The current territory of human civilization is essentially composed of these 5 major star regions. The smallest Central Star Region, among the 5 major star regions, encompasses nearly 100,000 star alliances. As for the other 4 star regions, they are constantly expanding, with the largest star region already comprising over 200,000 star alliances. The Milky Way star region, where Lin Yuan is currently located, as well as the previous Qikuan star domain and Anan Star Alliance, all belong to the Southern Star Region. With 18,000 star alliances, the Southern Star region's evolution rankings are extremely competitive. At least for now, the Marshall Path evolutionary path does not make it into the top 100. It makes sense, no matter how great the potential of the Marshall Path evolutionary path, it is only an 8th rank evolution path for now. Surpassing some 9th rank evolution paths is already remarkable. How could it possibly compete with the evolution paths included in the star region level rankings? Lin Yuan was well aware of this. The potential was not the only factor in the ranking on the boards. Besides, every evolution path ranked at the star region level had notable potential. Lin Yuan had never underestimated the geniuses of human civilization's history. Many geniuses did not reach the end due to various accidents, not because their chosen path was flawed. Right, Goddess of Wisdom, I should be an evolutionary scholar now, right? Lin Yuan suddenly asked. There were many conditions to become an evolutionary scholar. The most challenging one was to create a stable, new 8th rank evolution path. And Lin Yuan had just achieved this. Assessing qualifications for the Galaxy Master. Congratulations to the Galaxy Master for becoming a new evolutionary scholar within human civilization, the solemn and indifferent voice of the Goddess of Wisdom sounded. At the same time, various emails from the Central Star Domain were sent to Lin Yuan's mailbox. The Central Star Domain, the core star domain of human civilization's Central Star region, is the original den of human civilization, where countless important resources converge. Every citizen who can reside in the Central Star Domain for a long time has a significant background and heritage. Many 8th rank evolvers yearn to serve as officials on an ordinary planet in the Central Star Domain. However, it is usually difficult to achieve, as even the most common life planet in the Central Star Domain has immeasurable value. Lin Yuan scanned the multitude of emails. Almost identical to civic rank promotions, these emails were basically about explanations and information regarding the status of an evolutionary scholar. First and foremost, any evolutionary scholar automatically owns a research planet in the Central Star Domain. This research planet, belonging entirely to the evolutionary scholar, is used for developing personal achievements. It should be noted that a research planet is far more valuable than a common life planet, and even some main stars of star systems cannot compare. Just this research planet itself is beyond measure, not quantifiable by hundreds of thousands of cubic universe crystals. Some 9th rank evolvers do not even have the authority to own a research planet. It's not a matter of cosmic crystals here, but of authority. In the Central Star Domain, becoming the owner of a planet is more than an issue of wealth. And there's the ability to access numerous secret materials collected by human civilization, as well as joining the Science Institute, Evolution Institute. Lin Yuan gained a general understanding of what it meant to be an evolutionary scholar. To sum it up, that would be treasure. The treasure of the human alliance. For the whole of human civilization, even losing an entire star domain of ordinary citizens could not compare to the loss of a single evolutionary scholar. Chapter 495 Sala, Our Chance is Here. Please subscribe, _2, respected scholar Lin Yuan. With your current status, you could apply to actively leave the Milky Way star region and proceed to the safer inner territories of human civilization, the Goddess of Wisdom actively suggested. Leave now, Lin Yuan thought it over. Now he had made many investments in the Milky Way star region, including the transformation of a grade B planet worth 100,000 cosmic crystals and so on. Forget it. Lin Yuan declined. The suggestion from the Goddess of Wisdom for him to go to the inner territories of human civilization was merely out of concern for his safety. But safety concerns. If it were before the 8th wormhole shuttle, Lin Yuan would indeed have had such worries. But now, Lin Yuan, who had comprehended dozens of cosmic forces, could crush those unbeatable at the 8th layer, even if his inner world had not yet recovered to its peak. Even without regaining all his strength, he could handle a few moves against 9th rank strong individuals. There were simply no safety concerns. The ones who should worry are the different species. Respected scholar Lin Yuan, you can still preside over the Milky Way star region before your scholar status is exposed. If it is revealed, please proceed to the inner territories of human civilization. The goddess of wisdom fell silent for a while, then gave a reply. The talent and aptitude that Lin Yuan was exhibiting now could be considered a top monstrous genius among human civilization, likely not to provoke an overt reaction from different species to attack him openly. But if the evolutionary scholar status is exposed, it's highly possible that the different species might actively break the unspoken agreement. A top monstrous genius of human civilization might not attract the attention of the peak clans, and a single evolutionary scholar might also find it difficult to provoke an all-out response from these clans. But when combined... Understood, Lin Yuan nodded. Chikuan Star Realm Virtual World. Central Plaza Area. Many evolvers were whispering amongst themselves. It's been almost 20 years. Hasn't the Martial Path Evolutionary Path released the 8th layer part yet? An evolver raised the question, noting that the Martial Path Evolutionary Path still occupied the 2nd rank in the Chikuan evolution rankings without any sign of slipping. 8th layer part. Is the 8th layer part so easy to come by? A green-eyed evolver scoffed, implying that even for the high and mighty evolutionary scholars, carving out a complete 8th layer evolutionary path was not an easy task. Otherwise, why would there be so few 8th layer evolutionary paths in human civilization? Moreover, the 8th layer part of the Martial Path evolutionary path is far from being as simple as a normal 8th layer part. Considering the potential shown by the Martial Path evolutionary path, the difficulty in carving out a matching 8th layer part would be immensely higher than other 8th layer parts. I think the founder of the Martial Path, even if capable of creating the 8th layer part, would spend hundreds, even thousands of years, or perhaps even more. The green-eyed evolver left unsaid that it might be possible that the 8th stage Martial Tao part could not be created at all. I don't care. The founder of the Martial Path will definitely be able to create the 8th layer part. Many of Lin Yuan's fans immediately expressed their opinions. With such popularity for the Martial Path evolutionary path, it naturally accumulated a large number of enthusiasts, and consequently, Lin Yuan, as the founder, also had many fans. Sure. The green-eyed evolver did not care to argue. This wasn't his opinion, but the belief of many higher-level evolvers and citizens. It was easy for the founder of the Martial Path to create parts from the 1st to the 7th rank, but to create the 8th layer part matching the previous 7 ranks was merely hopeful. Suddenly, the time reached early morning. The Chikuan evolution rankings began to refresh. A few breaths later. In the Central Plaza area, all the evolvers looked up at the rankings. The green-eyed evolver did as well, and upon seeing the name at the top of the rankings, was momentarily stunned. The Martial Path evolutionary path is first now. The green-eyed evolver's heart trembled a bit. The rise in the ranking wasn't much, just by 1. But it was the top rank. And it also indicated something even more terrifying. That was the Martial Path evolutionary path had been updated, and the 8th layer part was uploaded. Although there had been a previous occurrence where the Martial Path evolutionary path experienced a substantial rise in rankings without uploading a new part, this instance signified a different outcome. But that possibility seemed unlikely. Upon this thought, the green-eyed evolver immediately opened the detailed page of the Martial Path evolutionary path and discovered, right after the 7th rank chapter, the 3 characters for the 8th layer part. Has the 8th layer part really been developed? The green-eyed evolver felt as if he were dreaming. Had he just witnessed the birth of an 8th stage evolutionary path? And it was the extremely exceptional Martial Path evolutionary path. Let's take a look at the Anon Star Alliance evolution rankings. Merely the Chikuan evolution rankings in the star domain couldn't explain whether the 8th stage Martial Tao was congruent with the previous ranks from 1st to 7th. Comparatively, even the Martial Path evolutionary path with only up to the 7th rank was already approaching the upper limit of the Chikuan evolution rankings. Even a slight advancement to the 8th stage of the martial path evolutionary path would be enough to take the top spot on the Chikuan evolution rankings. This isn't due to the 8th stage martial Tao's own merits, but rather because the previous ranks from 1 to 7 were too heaven-defying. Anon Star Alliance evolution rankings, the Green Knight Evolver was about to look from the bottom up. He remembered that the martial path evolutionary path used to rank 100th on the Anon Star Alliance evolution rankings. Even if it improved, there was a high probability it wouldn't reach the top 50. However, just as the Green-Eyed Evolver's gaze glanced downward from the top of the rankings, he was suddenly dumbstruck. Because the name currently at the number 1 spot of the Anon Star Alliance evolution rankings, the martial path evolutionary path, has reached the summit of the Anon evolution rankings. The Green-Eyed Evolver swallowed hard, his mind in a muddle. Milky Way star region. A fleet was rapidly traveling through wormholes. Our mission target this time is the main star of the Milky Way star domain, said Captain Nolan, tasked with adjusting the fleet's position to ensure the correct trajectory. Captain, this much time micro-clear crystal almost drained our group stockpile. Was it bought by the Galaxy Master? Asked the curious deputy captain. An enormous quantity of time micro-clear crystals, equivalent to 80,000 cubic universe crystals, even when carried in spatial equipment, filled nearly half the fleet. Time micro-clear crystal contains pure energy, but its price isn't high. 80,000 cubic universe crystals worth of time micro-clear crystal, piled together, it's estimated to be the size of several hundred planets. Not sure, responded Captain Nolan with an impassive face. All members of the fleet were guessing it was the doing of the Galaxy Master because in the whole Milky Way main star, aside from that immensely powerful and wealthy Galaxy Master, who else had the means to purchase so much time micro-clear crystal? 80,000 cubic universe crystals, that's a vast fortune, more than many 8th rank evolvers could earn in their lifetimes. What kind of existence is the Galaxy Master, and whether he buys something, is it something you can discuss? Captain Nolan still glanced at the deputy captain, warning, the most important task for our group right now is to deliver these time micro-clear crystals to the Milky Way main star, as for whom they are for, that's not for you to ask. Yes, the deputy captain immediately complied, also feeling somewhat scared. Everything within the fleet was monitored by the goddess of wisdom. If they rashly discussed the Galaxy Master and it were recorded by the goddess, they would definitely be in deep trouble. We've arrived, announced Captain Nolan after performing the last wormhole shuttle, arriving outside the Milky Way main star. The time micro-clear crystals have arrived. Lin Yuan looked up towards the fleet stopped outside the main star. One by one it's too slow, I'll just go get them myself, said Lin Yuan, vanishing from his spot and appearing outside the Milky Way main star. Galaxy Master, acknowledged Captain Nolan, who naturally knew who had purchased this batch of time micro-clear crystals. Upon seeing Lin Yuan, he immediately greeted him with respect. Just as Lin Yuan's figure appeared outside the Milky Way main star, 5 invincible figures from the 8th rank, hidden deep within multiple spatial layers, suddenly had their eyes light up. They had been lying in wait for more than 10 years, just for this moment, waiting for the Galaxy Master to leave the main star, waiting for the Galaxy Master to lose the protection of the primary star. Without the main star's planetary defense system, the Galaxy Master, a newly advanced evolver of the 8th stage, appeared in their eyes like an undefended little white rabbit. Our chance has come, they said. Strike now, cried out Sarath of the Dark Scale race, being the first to break away from the spatial layers. The other 4 invincible 8th rankers followed suit, excitedly rushing towards Lin Yuan. Chapter 496, Breaking the Myth. Subscribe please. The moment 5 invincible aliens from the 8th rank emerged from the depths of the spatial layers, the space around them began to solidify, centering on them, like a flowing river suddenly freezing over, and the creatures within were trapped as if in amber. The first step to capturing Lin Yuan was to prevent him from escaping. In this regard, blocking the space around was most suitable, as once the void was sealed, all means of teleportation became unusable. Given the capabilities of the 5/8 rank aliens and their grasp of the space rules, Lin Yuan's chances of breaking through their spatial blockade were limited to two possibilities. One was mastering the complete space rules to leave with absolute control over them. The other was to possess a force far surpassing their combined strength, proving that brute force could indeed break through cunning, and that even space itself could be shattered by absolute power. Done. Dark Scale Race Saroth breathed a sigh of relief. Before they took action, Lin Yuan's only chance for survival was escaping before the space was sealed. As a disciple of the Chikuan Star Lord with a deep understanding of the space rules, it was possible he bestowed some instant movement method to send Lin Yuan away beforehand. But now, with the spatial blockade complete and Lin Yuan still present, Dark Scale Race Saroth felt it was perfectly handled. Under the joint blockade of the 5/8 rank Invincibles, even the Chikuan Star Lord himself would be suppressed if he didn't escape in time. Quicksand, Dark Scale Race Saroth's gaze was icy. Misty yellow sand grains gathered, sweeping in from all directions, piling up rapidly, and its intensity soared. The power of quicksand, a cosmic force that Dark Scale Race Saroth commanded, was not a type meant for attack or defense. Instead, it was akin to a domain power, possessing endless suppressive and controlling abilities. This time, with him leading the 5/8 rank Invincibles, it was because of this particular cosmic force. The insect race planned to kill the Galaxy Master with the memory poison, but first they needed to suppress and control him. The cosmic force that Dark Scale Race Saroth mastered was perfectly suited for this, using the power of quicksand to dominate the battlefield, while the other 4/8 rank Invincibles immobilized the Galaxy Master's ability to fight back. Of course, the fighting ability referred to here was what the Galaxy Master had shown so far. The moment the power of quicksand swept through, the other 4/8 rank Invincibles also struck simultaneously. The cosmic forces handled by the 8th rank Invincibles trembled, yet they kept some strength in reserve. Their goal was to control the Galaxy Master, not to directly kill. Outside the Milky Way main star, Captain Nolan was about to greet Lin Yuan. Not to mention, the Galaxy Master had just purchased 80,000 cubic meters of cubic universe crystals in one go, instantly becoming the most prestigious guest. Suddenly, space solidified. Captain Nolan's expression drastically changed. Before he could react, a heavy force of quicksand enveloped him. Captain Nolan was also an 8th rank evolver, nearing the peak of the rank, but at this moment, he couldn't even move, only able to sense that 4 unparalleled presences had descended. It's 4/8 rank Invincibles, no, 5/8 rank Invincibles. Captain Nolan's scalp tingled, as usually even seeing 1/8 rank Invincible was rare. Now there were 5 directly in front of him. And the killing intent exhibited by these 5/8 rank Invincibles was unmistakable, even if it wasn't directed at him. Captain Nolan felt his soul tremble in fear. Galaxy Master. Captain Nolan looked towards Lin Yuan, realizing that these 5/8 rank Invincibles were targeting the Galaxy Master. Aside from him, who else would be worth the joint efforts of 5/8 rank Invincibles? So there were 5 bugs hidden outside. Lin Yuan glanced at Dark Scale Race Saroth and the other 8th rank Invincibles. Before Lin Yuan left the Milky Way main star, these 5/8 rank Invincibles were hiding in the depths of the spatial layers, incredibly concealed, and difficult to detect unless examined intentionally. After all, Lin Yuan was now at the 8th rank, which placed him in the same realm as the 8th rank Invincibles. Buzz. The next moment, centered on Lin Yuan, a surging power of yin and yang spread in all directions. Wherever the power of yin and yang spread, the solidified space returned to normal, and the 5 forms of cosmic forces, including the power of quicksand within, were completely shattered, even causing the 4 surging 8th rank Invincibles to begin retreating as they looked toward Lin Yuan with eyes full of fear. This power. Dark Scale Race Saroth's face grew somber. Cosmic force, it's definitely cosmic force. Galaxy Master, have you deciphered a cosmic force? Dark Scale Race Saroth was incredulous. Just over 20 years ago, Lin Yuan was newly advanced to the 8th rank, and now he had deciphered some form of cosmic force, becoming an 8th rank invincible Lin. What kind of freak was this? Although he had stepped into the 8th rank not long ago, the Galaxy Master cleansing the Milky Way star region had shown peak 8th rank combat power, but the peak of the 8th rank and 8th rank invincible weren't the same concept at all. And, Dark Scale Race Sarath could feel that the cosmic force mastered by the Galaxy Master was by no means simple, belonging to a higher order of cosmic forces, even stronger than the normal advanced cosmic forces. Otherwise, he definitely wouldn't have been able to shatter their joint efforts so effortlessly. At the instant the 5 8th rank invincible aliens appeared, billions of miles away from the Milky Way main star, a white-robed and bald man appeared, looking in the direction of the Milky Way main star, so those aliens have finally made their move. This white-robed bald man was none other than the White Light Star Master, Chikuan Star-Lord's good friend, who not long ago had traded the rare cosmic treasure, Heart of Thunder, with Lin Yuan. The White Light Star Master, an experienced peak 8th rank, had a comprehension of space rules not inferior to that of the Chikuan Star-Lord. Thus the White Light Star Master's ability to protect himself was very strong, with deeper insights into space allowing a step across billions of miles, hidden within layers upon layers of space, akin to an innate invincibility. Chapter 497 Breaking the Myth, please subscribe, _2 Therefore, White Light Star Master's combat power may be inferior to that of an 8th layer invincible, but in terms of escaping tactics, not even an 8th layer invincible could match him. The greatest strength of an 8th layer invincible lies in cosmic force, but cosmic force is just one type of power. Unless someone is adept at using cosmic force to escape, they're truly no match for White Light Star Master. After completing the transaction of the Thunder Heart with Lin Yuan, White Light Star Master mentioned this to Chikuan Star-Lord, who then requested that White Light Star Master stay outside the Milky Way main star for a while longer, to protect Lin Yuan's safety. 5 8th layer invincibles? White Light Star Master's expression changed slightly. Had it been just 1 or 2 8th layer invincibles trying to assassinate Lin Yuan, he would have been able to help, as long as Lin Yuan could hold on for an instant. But 5 8th layer invincibles? Even if these 5 8th layer invincibles were not as adept at space rules as he was, a quantitative change could lead to a qualitative change, and his task would no longer be to flee, but to rescue Lin Yuan and then flee. It looks like I have no choice but to use that treasure. White Light Star Master raised his right hand, and a bunch of white flames started to burn. Human civilization, as a peak clan, had countless treasures, and White Light Star Master, being a seasoned 8th layer peak, naturally possessed many such trump cards. The white flames burning in his hand were a one-time treasure that, once activated, would unleash power close to the 9th rank's foundational might. It was sufficient to temporarily fend off those 5 8th layer invincibles. However, in the next moment, with a single thought, Lin Yuan crushed the joint assassination attempt by the 5 8th layer invincibles and effortlessly repelled 4 of them, leaving White Light Star Master somewhat stunned. What just happened? Wasn't Galaxy Master in dire straits? How had the situation changed before he even made a move to help? 8th layer invincibles, let's go. Outside the Milky Way main star, now certain that Lin Yuan had grasped a kind of cosmic force, Dark Scale Race Sarath made a prompt decision to leave. Setting aside that the cosmic force Lin Yuan had realized exceeded the power of normal advanced cosmic forces, even if it were just an ordinary cosmic force, their plan had failed. Even the most ordinary cosmic force is still cosmic force, and with Galaxy Master having grasped such power, he had become an 8th layer invincible of their own level. The 5 of them, 8th layer invincibles, could indeed suppress one of their own when joining forces, but it was merely suppression. To completely render an 8th layer invincible powerless to resist and to inject memory poison into them was unquestionably a fool's dream. Given the circumstances, any further delay would be just a waste of time. Should other powerful beings of human civilization arrive, leaving would come at a cost. Did I say you could leave? Lin Yuan stood under the starry sky, looking towards the 5 retreating 8th layer invincibles. At the same time, the vague black and white power of yin-yang taiji quietly spread and extended in all directions. Galaxy Master, do you really think you can keep us here? Dark Scale Race Saroth was mildly startled and found it somewhat absurd. The fact that Galaxy Master had grasped cosmic force indeed exceeded his expectations, but at most, that meant the mission had failed and he, along with the other 4 8th-layer invincible beings, could retreat unscathed. They were all 8th-layer invincibles, and even if the cosmic force that Galaxy Master had grasped was stronger than theirs, it was almost impossible to detain them. Among 8th-layer invincibles, there certainly were stronger and weaker ones, but the gap would not be huge. One side could not fully defeat the other, let alone kill or detain them. If Dark Scale Race Saroth was not wary of other powerful beings of human civilization arriving soon, he would certainly continue to probe Galaxy Master with the other 4 8th-layer invincibles. Forget it. He's probably just bluffing. There's no need to take Galaxy Master's words to heart. Dark Scale Race Saroth reined in his thoughts and began to accelerate his departure from the Milky Way star region. The rustling sound. Before they had gotten far, Dark Scale Race Saroth sensed the black and white yin-yang taiji power enveloping him from all around. The cosmic force controlled by Galaxy Master? Dark Scale Race Saroth immediately activated his power of shifting sands to defend himself. Clearly, Galaxy Master had caught up with them. Yet, Dark Scale Race Saroth was not particularly afraid, knowing that while he might be inferior to Galaxy Master, at worst, he would be suppressed, not even restricted from fleeing. However, before long, in Dark Scale Race Saroth's perception, alongside the black and white yin-yang taiji power, a new force emerged. This force was immeasurable and boundless, infinite and unending. Another cosmic force. Or is it a higher cosmic force? The Dark Scale Race Saroth was shocked and a sense of crisis rose in his heart. This Milky Way star master controls 2 cosmic forces, and both are higher cosmic forces. The Dark Scale Race Saroth faintly felt a great terror. The next moment, an aura that could destroy all things swept over, and the Dark Scale Race Saroth was again terrified. The third higher cosmic force. This Milky Way star master. Fear flashed in the eyes of the Dark Scale Race Saroth, his form began to dissolve, and his consciousness fell into darkness. Lin Yuan stood where the form of the Dark Scale Race Saroth had dissolved, caught his space bracelet, and took it into his inner world. With the power of yin-yang taiji, immeasurable force, and the power of destruction, 3 types of higher cosmic forces that could complement each other, and augmented by the power of the world extending from his inner world that spanned millions of miles. Lin Yuan's combat power had grown significantly beyond that of a typical 8th rank invincible, so killing the Dark Scale Race Saroth was not difficult. This was still Lin Yuan holding back greatly, merely revealing 3 cosmic forces. The dozens of other cosmic forces had not even been used, let alone the thread of primal force that surpassed higher cosmic forces. In a star domain deep in the universe, the original body of the Dark Scale Race Saroth suddenly opened his eyes. That Milky Way star master. The expression of the Dark Scale Race Saroth was full of horror. Being an 8th rank invincible himself, he naturally had an avatar, and it was this avatar that usually roamed outside. After all, even an 8th rank invincible was not absolutely safe, as encountering certain powerful 9th rank beings would mean death for an invincible. The Dark Scale Race Saroth had thought that his avatar might perish, but he never expected to die at the hands of another human 8th rank evolver. How is that Milky Way star master so strong? To have discerned 3 higher cosmic forces. The Dark Scale Race Saroth shuddered, vaguely feeling that something was not right. If it were just 3 higher cosmic forces, even if they could kill him, they shouldn't have instantly killed him as they did just now. Obviously, there was another powerful force beyond those 3 cosmic forces. Milky Way Star Master, the insect race is going to have a headache. The Dark Scale Race Saroth thought silently to himself. Although he lost an avatar, a heavy loss indeed, based on the performance just now, the Milky Way Star Master would probably become a major problem for the insect race. Also, the myth of the 8th rank invincibility has been broken. The expression of the dark scale race Saroth was complex. Milky Way Star Master. Lin Yuan enveloped all directions with the power of Yin-Yang Taiji, aided by the immeasurable force and the power of destruction, and soon killed another 8th rank invincible alien being. 3 got away. Lin Yuan glanced in 3 drastically different directions. The escape routes of 5 8th rank invincibles were naturally inconsistent and scattered. After Lin Yuan killed 2, the other 3 had already gone far. Upon witnessing Lin Yuan kill an 8th rank invincible as if slaughtering chickens, these 3 8th rank invincible beings from different species were so frightened that they used all kinds of methods to get as far away as possible. Actually, with Lin Yuan's current strength, even though he was far from his peak, he could have detained those 5 8th rank invincibles. However, it would inevitably reveal more cosmic forces. Having control of dozens of cosmic forces, including the primal force that surpassed higher cosmic forces, should belong to his secret trump cards. To expose them just to kill a few 8th rank invincibles was, Lin Yuan felt, not worth it. It was not even really a killing. Lin Yuan could sense that the 2 8th rank invincibles he had killed were still causally linked to him, which meant they hadn't truly died, likely their original selves were still alive. Although the combat power of an 8th rank invincible is on the same level as a supreme immortal king in the spirit realm, in terms of escape techniques, they far surpass the latter. Lin Yuan looked thoughtful. As for the reason, it was not hard to understand. In the spirit realm, supreme immortal kings were practically at the ceiling, but in the main world, an 8th rank invincible was not even at the top. Therefore, 8th rank invincibles placed great importance on life-saving techniques, and most of them had strong backgrounds and could receive gifts from more powerful beings. This was far beyond what supreme immortal kings in the spirit realm could compare to. Chapter 498 Chikuan Star-Lord, my apprentice, surpassed me. Subscribe please. Outside the Milky Way star region. 3 figures converged. These 3 figures were the very trio who had previously attempted to assassinate Lin Yuan. At this moment, the 3 8th layer invincibles were looking horrified and weak. In order to escape from the Galaxy Master's pursuit, they had paid a heavy price. The Galaxy Master, how can he be so strong? One of the figures trembled as he spoke. Initially, the 5 8th layer invincibles thought the mission to assassinate a newly advanced to the 8th rank evolver would be simple. Wasn't it meant to be an easy catch? Even if that Galaxy Master was a genius, what of it? But reality had slapped them in the face. If they hadn't run so quickly, they would probably have been left behind in the Milky Way star region forever. Although the 3 8th layer invincibles each had an avatar, they had invested countless resources into creating these avatars, and losing one would cause them long-lasting heartache. How did the insect race conduct their business, not even clearing up the Galaxy Master's background before sending us to assassinate him? The second 8th layer invincible couldn't help but protest. The Galaxy Master was too strong. So strong that it made the hearts of 8th layer invincibles tremble. Under such circumstances, there was undoubtedly a problem with the insect race. Yeah, how did the insect race collect their intelligence? The third 8th layer invincible also complained discontentedly. On the Milky Way main star, countless evolvers were watching the recent events with utter shock. What had they seen? 5 8th layer invincible different species were easily repelled by the Galaxy Master? Ordinary evolvers couldn't see much, only knowing that the 5 8th layer invincibles had retreated on their own accord. But 8th rank evolvers could roughly see that the Galaxy Master was pursuing and effortlessly striking down the 2 8th layer invincibles. Striking down 8th layer invincibles? These were completely incompatible terms. Even if an 8th layer invincible were to be struck down, it would be by a 9th rank strong one or by certain war weapons. Struck down by a newly advanced to the 8th rank Galaxy Master? Had the world gone mad? When did the Star Lord become so strong? How could I possibly feel that those 8th layer invincibles are so weak? How could 8th layer invincibles be weak? Did you forget the spatial pressure they caused the moment those 5 different species appeared? It's not the 8th layer invincibles being weak, it's the Star Lord that's too strong. Chun Bo and Jiali, 2 8th rank evolvers on the Milky Way main star, were excitedly discussing among themselves. Hongpi and Blue Eyes were the same, staring in shock at the Galaxy Master revealing the strength to easily subdue 8th layer invincibles. They had followed the Chikuan Star Lord and knew well the power of 8th layer invincibles. Not even the Chikuan Star Lord could strike down an 8th layer invincible. Suppressing an 8th layer invincible was possible, but to defeat or even kill was as hard as ascending to heaven. The Galaxy Master, outside the Milky Way main star, Captain Nolan was parched, as he had seen even more than those 8th rank evolvers on the star. From the moment those 5 8th layer invincible different species appeared, to their panicked escape, he had seen it all. The myth of 8th layer invincibles has been broken by the Galaxy Master, Nolan thought rapidly. The so-called myth of 8th layer invincibles was that they were absolutely invincible among their peers and could not be killed by another of the same rank. 8th layer invincibles were the absolute peak within the 8th layer and so on. To strike down an 8th layer invincible, there were only 2 methods. One was for a higher rank strong one to act, the other was to wield some powerful external force. Here, external force referred to weapons, artifacts for attack, treasures, and so on. On the battlefields of different races, occasionally there would be a spectacle of strong ones wielding supreme weapons. That was external force. But the Galaxy Master had not used any external forces just now. This fact was clear to those 5 8th layer invincibles, and Nolan was clear on it as well. Not using external forces, yet easily killing 8th layer invincibles, wasn't this a shattering of the myth? Whoosh! Just as Captain Nolan was still in shock, a figure suddenly appeared before him. It was none other than the Galaxy Master. "I'll be taking these time micro-clear crystals," Lin Yuan said. He had been intending to collect the time micro-clear crystals when he was interrupted by the 5 8th layer invincibles. Now that he had dealt with them, he naturally planned to finish what he had been doing. "Very well. Galaxy Master, please sign for them," Nolan immediately reacted. He then said with utmost respect. Nolan's reverence came completely from the heart, without any other factors. Before this day, Nolan's respect for Lin Yuan stemmed from his background, talent, and various other aspects. But now, it was entirely because of strength. Just like numerous evolvers from human civilization, who revered the 9 supreme beings. As Lin Yuan confirmed his identity and signed for the delivery, with a thought, he started transferring one space device after another from the battleship into his inner world. The time micro-clear crystals purchased with 80,000 cubic universe crystals were amassed, enough to match the size of dozens of planets. Captain Nolan was close to the peak of the 8th rank, and his inner world spanned only a few thousand miles in radius, incapable of accommodating all the time micro-clear crystals. And as for putting space devices filled with massive amounts of time micro-clear crystals into one's inner world, that depended on the bearing limit of the inner world itself. A space device containing a planet-sized amount of materials couldn't be stored within an inner world the size of a few hundred miles in radius. But for Lin Yuan, these time micro-clear crystals were not a problem. Even without having expanded it, Lin Yuan's inner world was already tens of millions of miles in radius. Forget 80,000 cubic universe crystals worth of time micro-clear crystals, even 800,000 cubic universe crystals worth could be easily accommodated inside the palace on the Milky Way main star. After Lin Yuan had taken all the time micro-clear crystals into his inner world, he returned directly here. Let's take a look at the spoils of war. With a thought, Lin Yuan made 2 spatial wrists appear before him. Chapter 499 Chikuan Star Lord, my disciple surpassed me. Please subscribe, _2 These two space bracelets, taken from the two invincible 8th layer beings Lin Yuan defeated, along with the essence and blood released from the disintegration of their physical bodies and their weapons and treasures, were all collected. So wealthy, Lin Yuan briefly inspected the haul and a smile emerged on his face. Within the two space bracelets, the cosmic crystals alone amounted to more than 200,000. Not to mention the other treasures and weapons. If converted into cosmic crystals, it too would be a sizable income. Lin Yuan roughly calculated the total value of the gains from killing the two 8th layer invincibles, which was close to 500,000 cosmic crystals. Which is to say, on average, each 8th layer invincible contributed 250,000 cosmic crystals to Lin Yuan. In fact, this was also the normal worth of an 8th layer invincible. Neither Dark Scale Race Sarath nor the other 8th layer invincible had ever considered that anything could go wrong with their mission to assassinate the Milky Way Star Lord. The Milky Way star region was located at the edge of human civilization territory, and the worst outcome would have been the failure of the assassination, allowing them to escape unscathed. They never expected to be completely defeated by Lin Yuan. Therefore, the avatars of these two 8th layer invincibles carried a large number of cosmic crystals and treasures, because they perceived there to be no risk in the assassination task. Is this memory poison? Lin Yuan's expression changed slightly. Within the space bracelet of Dark Scale Race Sarath, he discovered this peculiar item. The different species really intend to completely kill me. Lin Yuan was well aware of the effect of memory poison, a remarkable item targeting the memory level, from which not even a resurrection by a supreme being could save one. Unfortunately, memory poison is ineffective against me. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. Let alone his surge in strength after the 8th traversal to a level comparable to a 9th rank powerhouse. Even without this traversal, the soul-settling pearl bestowed by Xia Qin's supreme being would be enough to block the invasion of the memory poison. Although it's useless to me, the worth of such a peculiar item is immeasurable. Lin Yuan carefully stored away the memory poison. I've broken even in an instant. Lin Yuan's spirit was delighted. He had just been reluctant to spend 80,000 cubic universe crystals on the time micro-clear crystal, but in the blink of an eye, he harvested treasures worth 500,000 cosmic crystals. Not only had he recouped his investment, but he also made a substantial profit. And this was excluding the memory poison. Because Lin Yuan did not know the value of the memory poison, but he was certain that it was worth far more than several 100,000 cosmic crystals. With this memory poison, I could completely kill a peerless genius of a different species, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Not just the insect race and other peak clans that collect the names of human geniuses for their assassination lists, rewarding the killers with generous prizes for each kill. Human civilization also compiled lists of peerless geniuses from other peak clans, and one could earn a significant number of merit points as a reward for permanently eliminating a threat to human civilization. If I had known, I should have kept those 3 other 8th layer invincibles. Lin Yuan felt some regret, unaware that these 8th layer different species invaders would carry so many treasures and cosmic crystals into the human civilization territory. Virtual world. Personal space. The Chikuan Star Lord sat opposite the White Light Star Lord. What did you say? The different species sent 5 8th layer invincibles to assassinate my disciple. The Chikuan Star Lord was shocked. The moment White Light Star Master detected the arrival of the 5 8th layer invincible aliens outside the Milky Way main star, he split off a strand of consciousness into the virtual world to contact the Chikuan Star Lord. Don't worry, I will use the secret treasure, White Heart Flame. White Light Star Lord's expression was grave. White Heart Flame, the Chikuan Star Lord was not reassured. Once the White Heart Flame was activated, it could indeed unleash a near 9th rank foundational might, but the opponents were 5 invincible 8th layer beings. If willing to pay the price, they could fully withstand the damage from the White Heart Flame for a short time. As the different species had mobilized 5 8th layer invincibles, they must be determined to succeed. No, I must contact a supreme being. The Chikuan Star Lord stood up abruptly. Wait. Suddenly, the White Light Star Lord stopped the Chikuan Star Lord. Wait for what? Chikuan Star Lord frowned. It's over, those 5/8 layer invincible aliens have retreated. White Light Star Lord fell silent for a moment, saying somewhat incredulously. Retreated. Chikuan Star Lord was also taken aback. Although this outcome was unexpected, it also made him breathe a slight sigh of relief. Was it one of our human 9th rank evolvers who happened to pass by and saved my disciple? Chikuan Star Lord settled back down. Chikuan, must thank them in person. In Chikuan Star Lord's view, the only thing that could make 5/8 layer beings retreat voluntarily was a 9th rank evolver. As for an 8th layer invincible evolver from humanity, 1 or 2 invincible evolvers of the 8th layer couldn't make 5 invincible aliens of the same layer give way. And 5 or 6 evolvers from human civilization? How could such a coincidence occur? 8th layer invincible evolvers usually guard the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield, and without the movement of the 3 goddesses, they wouldn't gather together like this. Therefore, Chikuan Star Lord was even more convinced that it was a passing human 9th rank evolver who had acted to save Lin Yuan. It wasn't a 9th rank evolver. White Light Star Lord fell silent again for a while, then shook his head. Not a 9th rank evolver. Chikuan Star Lord exclaimed, then which several 8th layer invincibles? I, Chikuan, will also personally thank them. If it wasn't a 9th rank evolver, it could only have been a few passing 8th layer invincibles, although this scene was quite incredible, but since it happened, Chikuan Star Lord wouldn't say anything more. There were no passing 8th layer invincibles. White Light Star Lord fell silent for a moment, then spoke again. Upon hearing this, Chikuan Star Lord fell silent as well. Old man, what exactly do you mean? Chikuan Star Lord began to grow impatient. Continuously denying his guesses without stating the facts, what kind of secret was he trying to sell? It was your disciple who repelled those 5/8 layer invincibles by himself. White Light Star Lord looked at Chikuan Star Lord with a complex expression. It was my disciple, huh, who did you say? Chikuan Star Lord was stunned for a moment, as if not quite catching on. He understood each word spoken by White Light Star Lord, but strung together they left Chikuan Star Lord somewhat baffled. I mean, your disciple, on his own, made 5/8 layer invincible aliens retreat voluntarily, White Light Star Lord repeated. This time Chikuan Star Lord fully grasped the meaning. He blinked, at a loss for words momentarily. There were many possibilities for making 5/8 layer invincibles retreat voluntarily, but the biggest possibility was that those 5/8 layer invincibles felt they could not contend with Lin Yuan, which is why they retreated on their own. Making an assassination attempt in human territory, even in the fringe starfield, those 5/8 layer invincibles wouldn't dare to stay long, and upon realizing it was futile, would decisively give up. To avoid the arrival of powerful human defenders. But to achieve this, Lin Yuan himself would have to be an 8th layer invincible as well. Upon this realization, Chikuan Star Lord was filled with emotions. How much time had passed, and the young disciple he had taken in had grown to stand shoulder to shoulder with him. Chikuan, there's another matter, I'm not sure if I should mention it. White Light Star Master glanced at Chikuan Star Lord who was looking reflective, and hesitated. What could possibly be unspeakable now? Chikuan Star Lord laughed. My disciple has caught up to me, I should be happy. Your disciple not only made those 5/8 layer invincibles retreat voluntarily, but also chased after them and killed 2 of the 8th layer invincibles. White Light Star Lord spoke softly. Killed 2 8th layer invincibles? Chikuan Star Lord fell silent once again. Even someone as powerful as him could not kill 2 8th layer invincibles, let alone having just faced the siege of 5 such invincibles. Are you sure of what you saw? Chikuan Star Lord asked somewhat solemnly. Killing 8th layer invincibles wasn't an inconceivable event. On the large alien battlefield, every so often an 8th layer invincible would fall. But the one who killed the 8th layer invincibles was his disciple, a young man who had only stepped into the 8th layer a few decades ago, not yet 100 years of age. I am certain, White Light Star Lord affirmed. Though he wasn't an 8th layer invincible himself, he had a deep understanding of space rules, and distance wasn't an issue for him. He witnessed firsthand those two 8th layer invincible aliens being slain by the hand of Milky Way Star Master. My disciple. Upon hearing this, Chikuan Star Lord did not doubt it. Instead, his face showed a hint of helplessness. Had misspoken just a moment ago. His disciple hadn't just caught up to him. He had surpassed him. Chapter 500 Sensation. Please subscribe. Chikuan, you've taken on a good disciple, White Light Star Master said, looking at Chikuan Star Lord. In the universe's human civilization, it was not uncommon for a disciple to surpass his teacher. In the different species, there might exist repression and enslavement of a clan's geniuses. This would result in the strong remaining strong, and those in high positions, in order to consolidate their own status, limiting the promotional channels of those below them. But such a phenomenon was almost non-existent in human civilization. Under the governance of the three ultimate intelligent goddesses, as long as you could demonstrate talent in some area, you would be protected. Even if you had no talents at all, you could still live a stable and secure life. As long as you did not violate the laws, there wouldn't be any problems. Thus, even though the average individual in human civilization might be considered weak compared to other peak clans, it could continuously and steadily produce a large number of strong individuals. Furthermore, they swept across the 8 directions of the universe, and even when facing peak clans like the insect race, they could hold their ground and even gain the upper hand. Indeed, having a too excellent disciple is trouble for the teacher as well, Chikuan Star Lord sighed, causing White Light Star Master to roll his eyes. At Chikuan Star Lord's level, it was difficult to advance further in a short time, and the usual comparisons with many friends often revolved around their own disciples. The more outstanding Lin Yuan was, the more glorious Chikuan Star Lord, the teacher, felt. Can you teach a disciple as formidable as mine? Even if it wasn't my teaching, it was still my discerning eye that recognized his potential. Ever since he took on Lin Yuan, Chikuan Star Lord had been very comfortable, and he never lost in comparisons with his friends. Especially just now, having heard from White Light Star Master about Lin Yuan's formidable combat achievements, Chikuan Star Lord felt even more complacent, confident that even if his friends stepped into the 9th rank in the future, he would still have them thoroughly outmatched in the realm of taking on disciples. What are you smirking about, old man? White Light Star Master glanced at Chikuan Star Lord. Don't end up still stuck at 8th rank while your disciple advances to 9th, White Light Star Master joked. As 9th rank evolvers begin to merge with the great universe, even if White Light Star Master found Lin Yuan's demonstrated combat power incredible, he was sure that Lin Yuan was still at the 8th rank. I would love to. Chikuan Star Lord didn't mind at all. The battle outside the Milky Way main star, as time passed, spread like a hurricane through the human territories. The human territories were vast and expansive, and even the matters of 9th rank or 10th rank evolvers didn't necessarily spread widely. Few could traverse star domains. But Lin Yuan's battle with those 5 8th rank invincible aliens, having killed 2 of the 8 rank invincibles, caused a tremendous shock throughout human civilization. No matter which star domain it was, there definitely were 8th rank invincibles. And as an 8th rank invincible, they were keenly aware of the difficulty in killing another 8th rank invincible of the same level. This was about killing, not defeating or suppressing. Little junior brother, in another fringe starfield, the Red Kun lineage's great peak master looked at the information in front of him, somewhat stunned. He had long known about his little junior brother's terrifying talents, who had just stepped into 8th rank and could uncontestedly suppress him, an evolver who had adapted to the 8th rank for some time. Even the teacher, Chikuan Star Lord, once said Lin Yuan did it while holding back significantly. From that moment on, the great Peak Master knew that the gap between himself and his little junior brother would only grow wider. But the great Peak Master hadn't anticipated that in such a short time, while he was still striving to balance the many forces within his star domain, his little junior brother had been ruthlessly dominating among the 8th rank Invincibles. Shirsan Peak Master, he killed 2 8th rank Invincibles? In the Wanyang star domain, Wanyang Holy Sun let out a sigh upon learning this information. Back then I wanted to challenge Shirsan Peak Master, now it seems utterly ridiculous. While Wanyang Holy Sun was shocked by Lin Yuan's method of killing 8th rank Invincibles, he once took Shirsan Peak Master as a target for pursuit. Having a deep understanding of Shirsan Peak Master's growth speed, others might not be able to break the myth of the 8th rank Invincible's invincibility, but Shirsan Peak Master did, and Wanyang Holy Sun quickly accepted it. I never thought I once competed with Shirsan Peak Master in the arena. Wanyang Holy Sun felt calm, with a hint of pride emerging. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, his consciousness descending into his inner world. Tai micro-clear crystal. Dozens of star-sized Tai micro-clear crystals, accumulated in a region of his inner world, spreading a pure energy aura. The expansion begins. Lin Yuan thought and released the repression of his inner world. In an instant, hundreds of thousands of tons of Tai micro-clear crystal shattered, turning into pure energy, merging into the inner world, supporting its frantic expansion. First, expand the inner world to the limit, then absorb the liquid from the mysterious gourd to increase the base multiplier. Lin Yuan thought to himself, this was also the most extensive method of savings. Ending his half-month time traversal, Lin Yuan didn't directly start absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd, waiting instead for the arrival of the Tai micro-clear crystals. If he had absorbed the liquid from the mysterious gourd first, raising the base multiplier of his inner world to 13 times, then the energy required to expand his inner world to the size of his understanding of space rules afterward would far exceed the current amount. Increasing from 1 to 3 will consume 2, but increasing from 10 to 30 will consume 20. At that time, the cosmic crystals Lin Yuan would need to consume would not be 80,000, but 800,000, possibly even exceeding 1,000,000. According to the current speed of expansion, in 5 to 6 days it could expand to 3.75 million miles, then after absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd, in at most half a month, I could completely recover to nearly 1 billion miles of inner world. Chapter 501 Sensation. Please subscribe. _2 Lin Yuan observed for a while and speculated in his heart. In the spirit realm for nearly 1,000 years, he devoted a lot of time to absorbing the various colored liquids from the mysterious gourd, greatly enhancing the physical body divine ability blood rebirth. Next, he could reabsorb it in a short time. After observing for a while longer, Lin Yuan's consciousness returned to the outside world. The expansion of the inner world was an instinctual behavior and didn't require Lin Yuan's constant attention. It only needed to ensure a sufficient supply of energy. My current number of merit points, 26 million. Lin Yuan glanced over and pondered. The 8th stage Martial Tao's price was 22 million merit points. Of the remaining 4 million merit points, 1,500,000 were awarded to Lin Yuan for enlightening the goddess of wisdom about the 3,333 evolution paths contained within the bodies of those supreme beings. Another 1 million merit points were conferred as a reward for Lin Yuan killing those 2 8th-layer invincible beings. Usually, completely killing an 8th-rank different species member was worth 1 million merit points, but killing an 8th-layer invincible being earned even more merit points. However, Lin Yuan did not completely kill those 2 8th-layer invincibles, their true bodies were still alive, so in total, he only received 1 million merit points. But Lin Yuan was already content. Not to mention anything else, the treasures and weapons contributed by those 2 8th-layer invincible aliens, nearly worth 500,000 cubic universe crystals, had already made him a big profit. The additional 1 million merit points were purely a bonus. As for the remaining 1 million merit points, they were what Lin Yuan had accumulated previously. To ascend from a 7th level citizen to an 8th level citizen requires 50 million merit points. Lin Yuan checked the required number of merit points for the next citizen level and slightly shook his head. 50 million merit points was an astronomical figure, even for those 8th rank invincible evolvers. It was something they could long for but never reach. No wonder, even though many are evolutionary scholars, they are not 8th level citizens, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Evolutionary scholars had opened up at least one new 8th rank evolution path, that alone was worth several million merit points. In addition, every evolutionary scholar had their own research planet in the central star domain, where they could deduce various achievements at any time, which was a substantial income of merit points over the long term. Lastly, evolutionary scholars could join the Human Civilization Science Institute, the Evolution Institute, and still receive a steady sum of merit points from time to time. Compared to most evolvers, evolutionary scholars had many more ways to earn merit points. Even so, a significant number of evolutionary scholars had not yet become 8th level citizens. Take it slowly. As long as I can develop the 9th stage martial Tao chapter, that should be almost enough to advance to the 8th level citizen, Lin Yuan thought to himself. If the 8th stage martial arts were worth 22 million merit points, the 9th stage martial Tao chapter couldn't be less than that, which would be more than enough to move up to an 8th level citizen. 8th level citizen, Lin Yuan looked forward with a hint of anticipation. This level of citizenship wasn't just about being a citizen anymore, it was about being a decision-maker in human civilization, even capable of influencing a range of star alliances. The current Anand Star Alliance Council Speaker, for instance, was an 8th level citizen, whose influence was so vast that dozens of surrounding star alliances dared not take him lightly. Outside the human borders. A desolate star domain. The great shadow of the insect race honored envoy descended, and several other towering figures also coalesced. What's with that galaxy master? How long has he stepped into the 8th layer, and he already has the power to kill an 8th layer invincible? One towering figure spoke, his tone somewhat skeptical. To them, 8th layer invincibles were not a big deal, but the galaxy master was so young, having grown so much so quickly, what would become of him in the future? Carnelin, you are most informed about the assassination of the galaxy master. What exactly happened? The second towering figure looked towards the shadow of the insect race honored envoy and frowned. The facts are as you know them, said the insect race honored envoy. She, too, had not anticipated this outcome of the assassination attempt. The galaxy master, having barely stepped into the 8th layer, suddenly became invincible at that rank, with a combat power that was unimaginably powerful. He didn't borrow any external force? The third towering figure inquired. This was crucial. If the Galaxy Master had relied on an external force to kill the two 8th layer invincibles, that wouldn't mean much, as external forces were limited. This is the battle footage from that time. In front of the insect race honored envoy, scenes appeared, showing Lin Yuan confronting and clashing with the 5 8th rank invincible aliens. A moment later, a few beings had finished watching the footage. Without relying on external forces, that Galaxy Master has mastered at least 3 kinds of cosmic forces, all of them higher cosmic forces. One of those cosmic forces should have reached the 3rd realm, a few towering figures whispered among themselves, their tones filled with surprise. It was not easy to comprehend the cosmic force, especially the higher cosmic forces. The Galaxy Master comprehending 3 kinds of higher cosmic forces was even more extraordinary than killing 2 8th rank invincibles. No wonder he was able to kill 2 8th rank invincibles. These 3 kinds of higher cosmic forces, when combined, can barely touch the threshold of the 9th rank. However, in other aspects, they are much more sophisticated than a mere 9th rank. A few towering figures exchanged glances with each other. It was difficult for 9th rank powerhouses to kill an 8th rank invincible because the latter would flee, activating their own cosmic force to hold off a 9th rank powerhouse for a moment. Of course, the 9th rank powerhouses referred to here were the most common ones. In front of those powerful 9th rank beings, it was hard for 8th rank invincibles to survive. Although the Galaxy Master was not a 9th rank powerhouse, he had no weaknesses. The cosmic force of an 8th rank invincible couldn't affect him at all. In contrast, the 3 kinds of higher cosmic forces that the Galaxy Master controlled could greatly restrict an 8th rank invincible. In simple terms, it was not that the Galaxy Master was stronger than a typical 9th rank powerhouse, but rather that those 8th rank invincibles were suppressed by him. 3 kinds of higher cosmic forces. Once the Galaxy Master steps into the 9th rank, he will grow by leaps and bounds. His chances of successfully reaching the 10th rank in the future are quite high. Had we known earlier that the Galaxy Master had such great potential, our race should have sent 9th rank combat power to assassinate him. Even if it meant tearing off the disguise, facing the retaliation of human civilization, the losses our race would suffer in large-scale battles in the future would probably be greater if this Galaxy Master were allowed to grow. A few towering figures talked among themselves. They held a deep murderous intent towards the Galaxy Master, but they also knew that by revealing his strength, the Galaxy Master would definitely attract the attention of human civilization. Sending a 9th rank powerhouse to assassinate the Galaxy Master now was already too late. They might not succeed and could instead be ambushed by the powerful being of human civilization, risking their very own lives. On the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. In his inner world, the time micro-clear crystal, which had accumulated to the size of 50 stars, was almost completely consumed. And Lin Yuan's inner world had smoothly expanded to a radius of 37,500,000 miles. This was his inner world after a 5-fold amplification. The basic size should be about 7,500,000 miles in radius. Now I can start absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd. Lin Yuan immediately took out the gourd. In the main world, the absorption of the mysterious gourd's liquid by his physical body had stopped at the 2nd type, the orange-yellow liquid. Whereas in the spirit realm, he had almost completely absorbed the 4th type, the green liquid, reaching an amplification of 13 times. Inhale. Exhale. Lin Yuan immediately began absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd. His physical body divine ability blood rebirth had been greatly improved and could easily withstand the burning of the orange-yellow liquid. Just over 10 days had passed. Lin Yuan's progress in absorbing the liquid from the mysterious gourd had caught up with his progress in the spirit realm. Rumble. His inner world was undergoing a frenzied expansion. Without Lin Yuan's prior preparations, the spatial fluctuations caused by the expansion could have potentially swept across the Milky Way main star. Finally, Lin Yuan's consciousness descended into his inner world. At this moment, his inner world had reached its expansion limit, covering an area close to 100 million miles, vast and boundless. Chapter 502 Heading to Demon Jade Space. Please subscribe. My current strength. Lin Yuan closed his eyes. Within a nearly 100 million li radius, the cosmic force extended from his inner world underwent a qualitative change, and combined with the dozens of cosmic energies he mastered, Lin Yuan finally restored his strength to its peak. To be precise, it was even stronger than when he was in the spirit realm. After all, the inner world within the physical body of the main world had fused with quite a few cosmic rare treasures. The physical body in the spirit realm didn't have this privilege. Those 5/8 layer invincible alien strong ones, if they were to attempt an assassination now, the recovery of his inner world to a nearly 100 million li radius provided Lin Yuan with a revolutionary boost in combat power. An inner world spanning tens of millions of li compares to an inner world of nearly 100 million li, the difference far exceeds tenfold. At the moment, my absorption of the green liquid inside the mysterious gourd has reached a temporary limit. Lin Yuan's consciousness returned to the outside world, pondering. The enhancement of the inner world by the liquid within the mysterious gourd depends on 2 aspects. One is the foundational size of the inner world, that is, the comprehension of space rules. The other is the resistance to the flames created by the liquid through the physical body divine ability blood rebirth. I still need to comprehend space rules as much as possible. With my against heaven's understanding, I can fully comprehend the complete space rules at the 8th layer, Lin Yuan thought to himself. For other strong beings, whether human evolvers or different species lives, it is almost impossible to comprehend the complete space rules at the 8th layer. Because the difficulty is too high. However, Lin Yuan did not find it difficult, it was only a matter of how much time to devote. An 8th layer evolver has a long lifespan. How old is Lin Yuan now? He has plenty of time to try. Forget it, I should prioritize fusion rules, continue to explore the core spatial models afterward, and add it to the secondary objectives. Lin Yuan pondered for a moment. According to the current interpretation of 9th and 8th layers by human civilization, comprehending universal forces at the 8th layer is greatly beneficial for cultivation at the 9th layer. But whether space rules are fully comprehended has virtually no impact on the 9th layer. Many powerful beings who have just entered the 9th layer have not fully comprehended space rules yet. Given that, Lin Yuan believes it is more profitable to step into the 9th layer as soon as possible. Against heaven's understanding is related to the height Lin Yuan stands at. Comprehending space rules at the 8th layer versus the 9th layer is not the same level of difficulty. Therefore, unless it affects the foundation, Lin Yuan will always prioritize advancing his own realm first. 9th layer, Lin Yuan's expression turned contemplative. The biggest bottleneck to stepping into the 9th layer is the fusion rules. To merge one's control over a certain common rule into a pillar rule. These pillar rules could be the rule of time, space rules, the rule of life, and so on. Given Lin Yuan's current conditions, naturally, he chooses to merge into the space rules. Fusion rules for me, it's not the first time. Lin Yuan's thoughts wandered. After comprehending the Taiyin rule, the Taiyang rule and Taiyin rule began to merge, thus giving birth to Taiji rule, a higher cosmic force. However, the Taiyang rule and Taiyin rule are both common rules, and the difficulty of their fusion is far less than that of pillar rules. When I was in the spirit realm, I had already begun to merge the Taiji rule into the space rules, and the progress had reached 1/10. Now I just need to continue, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The fusion of different rules is much more difficult than simply comprehending a certain rule. How could the merging of two utterly distinct rules be easy? The fusion of Lin Yuan's Taiyin rule and Taiyang rule was solely because he started merging them from the 2nd and 3rd layer, progressively and systematically comprehending these two rules before merging them, which is natural. But fusing space rules with Taiji rule. Even for Lin Yuan with his against heaven's understanding, there were times he made no progress at all. After several days of continuous comprehension, Lin Yuan stopped, rubbing his temples, planning to take a rest. Attempting to merge the Taiji rule with space rules not only requires sufficient understanding but also takes a great deal of Lin Yuan's heart force. So after practicing for a while, Lin Yuan had to rest. To continue forcing the comprehension would only lead to exhaustion of heart force and lowering the efficiency of fusion. Let's check the number of evolvers on the martial path evolutionary path. Whether in the main world or in world traversal, Lin Yuan always gave great importance to the spread of the martial path evolutionary path. It relates to his ultimate leap. Many powerful beings beneath supreme beings, such as the ancient gods in the depths of the universe, like to spread their evolution paths, to prepare for the ultimate leap. Lin Yuan's current strength has not reached the level of ancient gods, but laying the groundwork for the ultimate leap early has no drawbacks. The most crucial point is that the martial path evolutionary path in the main world can also bring many benefits to Lin Yuan. Over the years, just from the share of income from the martial path evolutionary path, Lin Yuan has earned tens of thousands of cubic universe crystals. These universe crystals are not obtained as quickly as Lin Yuan could by casually killing a few 8th layer invincible beings, but the advantage is constant income without any hidden dangers or risks. Killing 8th layer invincibles, even for Lin Yuan, entails risk, such as preventing the alien strong ones from using 8th layer invincibles as bait. But the share of income from the martial path evolutionary path is stable and secure. First tier chapter, 6,226,387. Second layer chapter, 1,125,600. Third rank chapter, 32,421. Fourth rank chapter, 7,307. Fifth stage section, 1,038 people. Not bad, not bad. Even the fifth stage section has over 1,000 people. Chapter 503 heading to Demon Jade Space, request for subscription, _2 Lin Yuan's face broke into a smile. Although in the spirit realm, Lin Yuan had cultivated several 7th stage martial Tao warriors. But that had taken nearly 1,000 years. That the main world had produced such martial path evolutionaries in just a few decades was extremely rare. In terms of efficiency, it completely overshadowed the number of martial Tao cultivators the spirit realm could train in the same period. I set the price of the 8th layer part at 500 billion civilization coins, and it sold over 10,000 copies. Lin Yuan glanced at the sales figures of the 8th layer part. Those buying the 8th layer part at this time were basically not evolvers on the martial path evolutionary path. After all, evolvers on the current martial path evolutionary path hadn't even reached the 6th rank, so buying the 8th layer part was pointless. It was likely those 8th, 9th, and even 10th rank evolvers who bought it casually. After all, the current martial path evolutionary path ranked first in the Anand Star Alliance evolution rankings, and its soaring speed meant that even if 9th and 10th rank evolvers couldn't use it, they wouldn't mind buying it to take a look. 500 billion civilization coins, a huge fortune for 6th and 7th rank evolvers, didn't count for much in the eyes of 9th and 10th rank evolvers. 9th and 10th rank evolvers, already belonging to the strategic forces of human civilization, could easily amass far more than this amount with just one foray into a cosmic secret realm. With over 10,000 copies of the 8th layer part sold, even after subtracting the share for human civilization and taxes, I still have thousands of cubic universe crystals in hand. Lin Yuan's spirits were lifted. This was just a short time after he had uploaded the 8th layer part. The income it would bring him from the martial path evolutionary path was only going to increase. Inside the Chikuan Prime virtual world, Lin Yuan sat opposite the Chikuan Starlord, savoring fine wine. It's been a long time since I've had such leisure to enjoy a drink, Lin Yuan said, sipping gently, the hot sensation flowing down his throat. The wine in the virtual world, although non-beneficial to the physical body, tasted no different from real fine wines. This wine, out there, costs a cubic universe crystal per glass. It's much cheaper in the virtual world, but still millions of cosmos coins, said the Chikuan Starlord, who, even for him, could not bear to buy such expensive wines in reality, not because he couldn't afford it, but because he found it too painful. The 3 cosmic forces you used to defeat those 2 invincible 8th rank beings, were they all higher cosmic forces? The Chikuan Starlord also took a sip and asked curiously. I'm not sure if they were higher cosmic forces, Lin Yuan shook his head. He only speculated that the Taiji Force, Destruction Force, and Immeasurable Force were higher cosmic forces, but he didn't really know. Teacher, take a look. Lin Yuan raised his right hand, 3 strands of energy swirling between his fingers. Indeed, they are higher cosmic forces. With this strand of cosmic force, you've at least cultivated to the 3rd realm, the Chikuan Starlord said in awe. He had already seen the video of Lin Yuan in action, noticing his disciple mobilizing 3 types of cosmic forces, but seeing the 3 higher cosmic forces obediently winding around his disciple's fingers was still somewhat shocking. This was higher cosmic force, not some roadside green vegetable. People cannot be compared with one another. I was so proud when I realized one type of cosmic force, but my disciple, you comprehended 3 types of higher cosmic forces all at once, the Chikuan Starlord said wistfully. It was good luck, just happened to comprehend 3 types of powers, all of which were cosmic forces, Lin Yuan said with a smile. In the main world universe starry sky, cosmic forces cannot be simulated or replicated, so realizing a type of cosmic force is very much about luck. Some 8th rank powerhouses may spend tens of thousands of years without realizing a type of cosmic force, while some might achieve it in just a few decades. It all depends on random factors. To discover one might be luck, but to discover 3 and still call it luck, the Chikuan Starlord sighed. His disciple was excellent in all aspects, except he was too humble. If it was himself, he would have boasted to all his old friends. 3 types of higher cosmic forces. When you step into the 9th rank, forging a 9th rank foundation, how solid will it be? The Chikuan Starlord remarked admiringly. What the Chikuan Starlord did not know was that his disciple didn't just comprehend 3 types of cosmic forces, but dozens of them. Some even included the primal force, which surpassed higher cosmic forces. In the Red Kuan lineage virtual world, countless members of the Red Kuan lineage were whispering, their gazes occasionally turning towards the imposing main peak at the center. The well-informed members had long known that the 13 Peaks Master, also known as the Galaxy Master, was currently meeting with the Chikuan Starlord. The Galaxy Master. Previously, people wouldn't have been so excited, but news of the Galaxy Master defeating 2 invincible 8th rank beings of a different species in the fringe starfield had come. That news had exploded amongst all members of the Red Kuan lineage. Accomplishing what not even the Chikuan Starlord had achieved, the Galaxy Master had thoroughly excited the members of the Red Kuan lineage. Anyone could see, with such young achievements in defeating invincible 8th ranks, stepping into the 9th rank was inevitable. How is the 13 Peaks Master so powerful? Over the years, has the 13 Peaks Master created few miracles? Had I known, I would have done everything to join the 13 Peaks and become a subordinate of the 13 Peaks Master. Do you think you can get in just by giving it your all? The 13 Peaks are extremely selective in their recruitment. Members of the Red Kuan lineage eagerly discussed, and the prestige of the Galaxy Master began to spread throughout the southern star region of human civilization. Consequently, the Red Kuan lineage also gained fame. A corner within the Red Kuan lineage. Feng Yu gazed distantly at the central main peak, his expression complex. Originally, during the 7-star cave test, the 13 Peaks Master had invited him to join the 13 Peaks. He had rejected the offer, choosing instead a Great Peak Master who had already advanced to the 8th layer. Not long after, Feng Yu came to regret this decision as the 13 Peaks Master also advanced to the 8th layer. Compared to the Great Peak Master, who had taken nearly 100,000 years to reach the 8th layer, the 13 Peaks Master surpassed the former in every aspect. At the time, Feng Yu had chosen the Great Peak Master because he had already been a powerful 8th layer fighter, but soon after, the 13 Peaks Master also advanced to the 8th layer. This made Feng Yu feel like a fool. Over the years, Feng Yu had gradually come to terms with his choice. He thought that even if he hadn't joined the 13 Peaks, becoming a subordinate of the Great Peak Master, it wouldn't have mattered much. That was until he recently heard that the 13 Peaks Master had slain 2 8th layer invincible alien races. Those were 8th layer invincible alien races. And they were just killed by the 13 Peaks Master. Feng Yu felt extreme regret, thinking that had he chosen the 13 Peaks at that time, he would now be a highly sought-after figure. In that session of the 7-star cave test, the 2 evolvers who had chosen the 13 Peaks, Emoli being a powerhouse as a red pattern examiner, was already stronger than him, Feng Yu. But Wulan. Just an ordinary silver pattern. With no background. With no support. Merely because she had accepted the invitation of the 13 Peaks Master. Now, she was held in high regard among the Red Kuan lineage, even receiving respect from several of the Peak Masters. One wrong step leads to many, Feng Yu sighed inwardly. Milky Way main star. After chatting with his teacher, the Chikuan Starlord, for a while, Lin Yuan disconnected from the virtual world. Now, I should be at the peak of the 8th layer, Lin Yuan thought to himself, having completed the entire 8th stage of martial arts, which marked the end of his journey in the 8th layer, and what remained was breaking through to the 9th layer. I might try exploring the demon jade space, Lin Yuan suddenly thought. After deriving 3,333 evolutionary pathways from the body of a supreme being from beyond the cosmos, a magic jade mark automatically formed deep within Lin Yuan's soul, making him an ordinary member of the Moyu Tower. The magic jade mark, aside from being a symbol of a regular member of the Moyu Tower and stabilizing the spirit will, also connected to a mysterious space, the demon jade space, fashioned by the demonic jade tower master. This very space held the greatest opportunity within the body of the deceased supreme being. Lin Yuan found out from the magic jade mark that it's best to consider entering the demon jade space at the peak of the 8th layer. Thus, he waited until today. Now, I can do it. Lin Yuan probed his soul with his mind, locking onto the 9 floors dark tower-shaped magic jade mark. Let's explore. Lin Yuan activated the 9 floors dark tower mark, and in an instant, his will climbed immeasurably, arriving in a mysterious space. Chapter 504, The 9-Story Black Tower, Magic Jade Tower Master. Please subscribe, Magic Jade Tower, a mysterious force beyond the universe. According to the intention of the Xia Qin Supreme Being, the master of the Magic Jade Tower suddenly vanished in the distant past. The many members of the Magic Jade Tower also vanished without a trace. The body of that Supreme Being that drifted in from outside the universe should be a member of the Magic Jade Tower, otherwise, there would be no way for his body to contain evolution paths related to the Magic Jade Tower. The information Lin Yuan obtained from the Magic Jade mark indicated that the demonic jade space it connected to was specially opened by the master of the Magic Jade Tower for the members to undergo trials. Since it was a place for trial, there would undoubtedly be risks involved, and it would be easy to encounter mishaps if one wasn't at the 8th layer peak. Whoosh! A thread of Lin Yuan's spirit will, following the magic jade mark, descended in a mysterious space. Is this the demonic jade space? Lin Yuan cautiously observed his surroundings. Am I descending as a projection of consciousness? Is my real body still on the Milky Way main star? Lin Yuan immediately confirmed his own state. Having experienced multiple journeys through the door to the myriad realms, Lin Yuan was familiar with this sensation. The difference was that when he arrived at various worlds through the door to the myriad realms, he couldn't feel the existence of his body in the main world at all. During the 8th traversal, he could perceive the tiny details around his body, which was thanks to the aid of the door to the myriad realms acting as a medium. But now, Lin Yuan was able to sense where his body was, albeit being incredibly distant, but it felt authentic and substantial. This demonic jade space must not be in the main world, but it should exist on the same latitude and in the same dimension, Lin Yuan deduced in his heart. If it were in a different latitude and dimension from the main world, he shouldn't be able to sense where his body was. If I want to return now, all I need to do is dissipate this thread of consciousness. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The magic jade mark simply brought a thread of spirit will here, while the main body of the spirit will remained within his body. The current state of Lin Yuan was similar to a consciousness projection. A projection of consciousness. The only powers I can use now are my understanding of rules and cosmic force. Lin Yuan's thoughts spread out as he looked around. What caught his eye was an expanse of vast white fog. Lin Yuan's mind was faintly drawn towards something to the front left. Is it telling me to go there? Lin Yuan thought for a moment. The pull was coming from the magic jade mark. Without the magic jade mark, even if he forcefully descended into this space, he wouldn't know which direction to head in. The white fog masked everything. Let's go. Lin Yuan didn't plan to wander blindly. Instead he followed the guidance of the magic jade mark and walked straight ahead. Although he did not know what level of strength the master of the magic jade tower was, it was certain he wouldn't be weaker than a supreme being. It was safest to abide by the rules of a space created by such an existence. As for carving out a new path, that was the most foolish act. At the very moment when a thread of Lin Yuan's spirit will descended, at the core of the demon jade space, in front of a 9-story high tower completely black in color, a humanoid stone statue suddenly opened its eyes and looked towards Lin Yuan, who was carefully approaching from afar. How many eons have passed? Has a magic jade tower member finally entered this trial ground again? The statue watched Lin Yuan from a distance, feeling nostalgic. Once, our magic jade tower was so flourishing, members would come for trials every moment. Now, to wait for just one member takes such a long time. The humanoid stone statue sighed, "Master, just where have you gone? With your disappearance, does the magic jade tower still need to exist?" Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's brow furrowed slightly. He could feel everything that the thread of spirit will that entered the demonic jade space encountered. Even as that thread of spirit will explored the demonic jade space, he could himself engage in practice and enlightenment of paths here. As an 8th layer evolver, doing multiple things at once was nothing out of the ordinary. Unless the incarnation formed by that thread of spirit will encounter something extremely important, most of his heart force would remain focused on his true body. I wonder if up to now, any human evolver has become an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower, Lin Yuan silently pondered. To thoroughly comprehend the 3,333 evolution paths is one thing, but over the years, perhaps some human evolver has managed to perfect and enhance an evolution path. This method of becoming an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower is much simpler than fully understanding the 3,333 evolution paths. And what about different species? Lin Yuan's brow furrowed slightly. Even the peak clans, without the virtual world technology of humans, couldn't isolate the majority of the powerful influence of that severed body. Therefore, the peak clans who contemplate that supreme being's body also have to bear great risks. But likewise, the greater the risk they bear, the bigger the variables could be. Perhaps some different species, who was exceptionally compatible with that severed body, could significantly accelerate their contemplation. Forget it. Right now, I should still focus on fully comprehending the 33,333 evolution paths as soon as possible. Lin Yuan split off another thread of consciousness and connected to the virtual world, sitting at the peak of a mountain, looking up at the severed body under the vast sky. Understanding 3,333 evolution paths would automatically make one an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower. Lin Yuan speculated that if he were to comprehend 33,333 evolution paths, his rank as an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower would very likely rise a notch. Although Lin Yuan didn't know what he would encounter inside the demonic jade space, having a higher rank as a member of the Magic Jade Tower certainly wouldn't be a bad thing. Of course, Lin Yuan's main concentration and heart force would still be devoted to the fusion of rules. Chapter 505, 9-Story Black Tower, Muyu Tower Master, requesting subscriptions, _2 Demon Jade Space. Guided by the Magic Jade Mark, Lin Yuan passed through layers of heavy mist and finally arrived in front of a gigantic 9-floor black tower. The 9-floor tower was grand and massive, entirely black, with a vaguely emanating aura that penetrated through several spatial layers. This tower. Lin Yuan felt his spirit will under immense pressure. The 9-floor tower matched the 9 floors dark tower from the Magic Jade Mark, but the former was countless times larger than the latter and emitted a pressure so intense that Lin Yuan felt like he was facing the Xia Qin Supreme Being again. Comparable to the pressure of a Supreme Being, could this tower rival a Supreme Being? Lin Yuan felt it was unbelievable. In the main world, Supreme Beings were the absolute synonyms for invincibility, dominating the vast starry sea. While Lin Yuan kept examining the 9-floor tower, a huge human-shaped stone statue slowly walked out. "Little guy, don't stare at the black tower for too long, it will have adverse effects on you," the stone statue spoke. Although Lin Yuan had never heard the language before, he somehow understood its meaning. "I have seen the elder," Lin Yuan immediately said humbly. The giant stone statue that appeared outside the black tower, sharing the same aura as the tower, clearly played a guardian role. It was likely greatly associated with the demon Jade Tower, so it was only proper for Lin Yuan to respectfully address it as elder. Ha 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 ha, the stone statue laughed. After so many years, to finally see a member of the demon Jade Tower, at last someone to talk to. Lin Yuan murmured, his mind slightly stirred. From the stone statue's statement, he could infer a lot of information. For example, before Lin Yuan, the last member who had entered the demon Jade space must have been very long ago. That is to say, currently, neither human civilization nor other peak different species had any clan members become ordinary members of the demon Jade Tower. Although it might be possible for some to become ordinary members whose strength had not yet reached the 8th rank peak, hence afraid to enter the demon Jade space, the probability was too small. Not everyone possessed against heaven's understanding like Lin Yuan. My name is Shinji, little fellow, you can just call me by my name, the stone statue said smilingly, also examining Lin Yuan closely. Did you become a regular member of the demon Jade Tower by mastering over 3,333 demonic evolution paths? Your understanding is quite impressive. Stone statue Shinji's tone was tinged with surprise, as mastering over 3,333 demonic evolution paths was no easy feat, requiring much more time than perfecting a single demonic evolution path. Unless one had exceptional understanding, few beings chose this way to join the demon Jade Tower. Similarly, such ordinary members were more valued by the demon Jade Tower than those who perfected a certain demonic evolution path. Just by luck, Lin Yuan immediately responded. He simply felt that directly cultivating the evolution paths he had realized was too dangerous, and mastering multiple evolution paths could also enhance his foundation. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, stone statue Shinji said. He was quite pleased with Lin Yuan, primarily because after so many years, having a practitioner come along, he could have a conversation to relieve his boredom. Moreover, Lin Yuan's understanding was impressive. No matter how much time it took, 1,000,000 or even 10 million years, as long as he could comprehend all 3,333 demonic evolution paths, there was no question about his understanding. If his understanding was lacking, no amount of time would allow him to comprehend so many demonic evolution paths. Elder Shinji, Lin Yuan thought for a moment before asking, what about this trial, how should it be undergone? Lin Yuan had only gathered simple information about entering the demon Jade space and undergoing the trial to obtain corresponding rewards from his magic Jade mark, but as for how to undergo the trial or what rewards to receive, he was not very clear. It's simple, see this 9-floor tower. Stone statue Shinji showed no impatience, explaining, you can receive a great reward left by the demonic Jade Tower Master for every layer you conquer. A reward left by the demonic Jade Tower Master? Lin Yuan's mind stirred. The higher the floor, the greater the reward, the stone statue added, but don't get ahead of yourself. Normally for beings with rank as high as 8, just passing the first floor is almost impossible, and from the 7th floor onward, basically only 12th rank lifeforms can attempt it. 12th rank, Lin Yuan's heart skipped a beat. In the main world universe, 12th rank has many names. The ultimate being. Or the supreme being. And according to the meaning of the stone statue Shinji, even a supreme being only hopes to pass through the 7th layer, there is still the 8th layer and the 9th layer afterward. What specific rewards are there? Lin Yuan was curious in his heart. That I do not know, the rewards left by the master are confidential, even I am not aware of them. Stone statue Shinji patiently said. For countless millennia, he had been so lonely that now, faced with a little 8th layer fellow, he almost answered any question asked. The grandiose entrance to the 9 floors dark tower. Stone statue Shinji brought Lin Yuan here. Further ahead, they would enter the range of the first layer of the 9 floors dark tower. Little guy, just keep walking straight ahead to that black staircase. Once you reach there, you would have passed the first layer, and what follows is the 2nd layer, stone statue Shinji spoke. The entrance to the 9 floors dark tower was hundreds of miles wide. Lin Yuan looked around, turned and asked Shinji, "Senior Shinji, what strength is required to pass the first layer?" Generally speaking, only a 9th rank life has hope to pass through the first layer. As for 8th rank life, it's also possible if one grasped the complete space rules. Stone statue Shinji spoke gently. In his opinion, Lin Yuan had no hope of passing through the first layer, but as long as someone could keep him company to chat, that was enough. Lin Yuan is an ordinary member of the Demon Jade Tower, holding the magic jade mark, able to enter the Demon Jade space at any time. Grasping the complete space rules, Lin Yuan was secretly shocked. For an 8th rank life to grasp the complete space rules, that was much more difficult than becoming an invincible at 8th layer. In the main world universe Starry Sky, the number of invincibles at 8th layer is still some, human civilization, other great peak clans, even powerful clans, ordinary clans. They all have invincibles at the 8th layer. But for the 8th layer to grasp the complete space rules, it has indeed occurred. But only through the long ages might such a person luckily be born. Of course, if you have deduced some kind of cosmic force, and this cosmic force is strong enough, there's also hope of passing through the first layer, Stone statue Shinji added. By implication, ordinary cosmic force stands no chance in passing through the first layer. That's good, Lin Yuan said, feeling a bit of relief in his heart. If nothing else, he had plenty of cosmic force. Actually, during his 8th traversal, in his stay of 920 years in the spirit realm, if Lin Yuan hadn't spent a lot of time on comprehending the power of creation, he would probably have been able to grasp 7,782 core spatial models, mastering the complete space rules. But Lin Yuan never regretted his decision, complete space rules. With Lin Yuan's understanding, as long as he had enough time, he would be able to grasp it. But the power of creation. Once out of the spirit realm, Lin Yuan couldn't think of the next time he would encounter such a world with no limits on cosmic force. It could take who knows how long. Go ahead, Stone statue Shinji stood at the entrance and said. Okay, Lin Yuan did not hesitate and directly entered the first layer of the 9 floors dark tower. Stone statue Shinji watched Lin Yuan enter the black tower. Don't know how long he can last, but just being able to deduce 3,333 paths of evolutionary Tao to join the Demon Jade Pavilion, even with only 8th layer, there is hope of passing through the first layer, Stone statue Shinji thought to himself, as the scene of the first layer of the Black Tower appeared in front of him. As the guardian of the 9 floors Dark Tower, Stone statue Shinji had many rights to prevent the Demon Jade Tower's ordinary members from cheating during their training, such as using external force and so on. The master of the Demon Jade Tower created this space to cultivate members. If they used external force, it would lose the effect of the training. They would be driven out by Stone statue Shinji, never to enter again. Chapter 506, Lin Yuan's Age. Please subscribe. 9 floors Dark Tower. First layer. Lin Yuan's figure appeared. All around was incredibly empty, with only a striking black staircase at the center. Lin Yuan understood that only by reaching the black staircase would he have passed the first layer of the Dark Tower. Along the black staircase, one could also enter the second layer. After thinking for a moment, Lin Yuan took big steps toward the central black staircase. The next moment, a massive pressure enveloped him from all directions. Lin Yuan felt his spirit will begin to crumble. The intangible and formless pressure almost tore him apart. I now have no physical body and not even the power of the soul. To resist this pressure, I can only rely on an understanding of the laws or cosmic force. Lin Yuan thought to himself and tried to operate the space rules to compress the space around him, but regrettably, his understanding of the space rules was limited, and soon the intangible pressure penetrated the space and descended upon him again. No wonder Senior Shinji said that one must at least master the complete space rules to pass the first layer. Lin Yuan thought to himself that only with complete mastery of space, allowing him to freely stretch or shorten the length of space, could any attack from the external world hardly reach him. It's too difficult for an 8th layer being to surpass the first layer. The stone statue Shinji watched Lin Yuan seen within the tower. The master initially decreed that one could enter here for experience at the peak of the 8th layer. But among 10,000 or a million at the peak of the 8th layer, perhaps only one might surpass the first layer. As Lin Yuan operated the space rules, the stone statue Shinji knew that the other party had not mastered the complete space rules. Under such circumstances, the chance of passing the first layer of the Dark Tower decreased further. Cosmic force. This young one really possesses a type of cosmic force. The stone statue Shinji watched with great interest. This cosmic force, where yin and yang integrate, is it a higher cosmic force? And cultivated to the 3rd realm. Interesting, but just these alone will still make it very difficult to pass the first layer. The stone statue Shinji deduced inwardly, but at this moment, his interest had already been piqued. Possessing a type of high cosmic force cultivated to the 3rd realm, Lin Yuan could at least last a very long time on the first layer. Dark Tower's first layer. Lin Yuan realized that the space rules could not withstand the thick pressure enveloping from all around. Without hesitating, he activated the Taiji force. The yin-yang Taiji power formed a barrier on the surface of his body, blocking all the pressure outside. Finally stabilized. Lin Yuan breathed a slight sigh of relief internally. He was indeed afraid that he couldn't even surpass the first layer. Though with the magic jade mark, Lin Yuan had unlimited chances to try again, but if he couldn't pass the first layer from the start, one can imagine the difficulty of the subsequent layers. The trials within the Dark Tower can only rely on oneself, either to master the complete space rules or other foundational rules, or to amass sufficiently powerful cosmic force. Lin Yuan concluded. What he didn't know, however, was that there was a 3rd method, which was to utilize external help. Some specific treasures that could be brought into one's spirit will, were permitted, but the Moyu Tower master detested the reliance on external help during training, specifically assigning stone statue Shinji to monitor the process. Lin Yuan continued walking toward the central black staircase. As he neared his target, the enveloping pressure grew increasingly oppressive. Yet, relying on the Taiji power, Lin Yuan was still barely able to resist. Until, the formless pressure almost materialized, starting to form terrifying creatures that charged at Lin Yuan, all ultimately colliding with the Taiji barrier and disintegrating into dust. Lin Yuan frowned. With each terrifying creature hitting the Taiji barrier, he clearly felt the Taiji barrier shake slightly. This won't do. Lin Yuan realized he could not allow those terrifying creatures to touch the Taiji barrier. Immeasurable force, and the power of destruction, Lin Yuan used several types of higher cosmic force in succession, starting to actively hunt down those terrifying creatures formed by the formless pressure. Boom, boom. The vast immeasurable force spread all around, and the power of destruction began to cleanse. During this period, Lin Yuan intermittently used other cosmic forces. Occasionally, dozens of ordinary cosmic forces were also utilized. This is much easier. Lin Yuan's face lit up with a smile. The combination of different cosmic forces often yielded greater effects. In the spirit realm, Lingshu Immortal King had only comprehended one type of high power of creation and 6 types of ordinary powers of creation, but the latter, when combined, were hardly inferior to the high power of creation. Lin Yuan possessed even more ordinary cosmic forces, which combined even more perfectly, making his journey toward the central black staircase nearly an overwhelming march. Senior Shinji said that the faster one passes the first layer, the more generous the rewards. Lin Yuan quickened his pace. The surrounding formless pressure grew heavier, and the number of conjured phantom creatures increased, yet under the sweeping coordination of proactive cosmic forces, Lin Yuan never even stopped his stride. Soon, when he was about 100 meters away from the central black staircase, a near-tangible black octopod creature materialized, its terrifying presence overwhelming. Lin Yuan finally halted. He sensed a faint threat emanating from this black octopod creature. Quick battle, quick decision. No need to hold back. Lin Yuan didn't want to waste time on the black octopod creature, he just wanted to quickly surpass the first layer to see what rewards awaited. So, without hesitation, he went all out. Boom, boom. Dozens of cosmic forces mixed. Chapter 507, Lin Yuan's Age. Please subscribe. _2 Among the cosmic forces, one strand was immeasurably profound, faintly emanating the breath of the primal, the very primal force that transcended the higher cosmic forces. Over 900 years in the spirit realm, had it not been for that piece of primordial stone that descended from the 9 heavens, even with against heaven's understanding, Lin Yuan would have found it extremely difficult to comprehend such a mysterious power that surpassed the higher cosmic forces. The primal force of the first realm possessed might that nearly transcended the cosmic forces of the third realm. Ho! The black eight-clawed creature that had solidified, almost tangible, at the last moment of its life, let out a crazed roar before it was crushed to dust under the overwhelming pressure of various cosmic forces. Quickly, go! Lin Yuan continued to stride toward the black staircase at the center. With spatial suppression on the first floor of the Black Tower, it was impossible to teleport or compress space, not even to fly. Lin Yuan could only reach his destination by walking. There should be no more creatures to block the way behind. Lin Yuan kept walking, though he felt somewhat uneasy. By now, he had played his last card, even invoking the primal force, at least in terms of spirit will, he had no stronger methods left. Actually, on second thought, there was still one. That was the physical body divine ability strengthening. Once Lin Yuan activated this divine skill, everything, his physical soul, spirit will, and so on, would increase tenfold. Even with just spirit will at this moment, Lin Yuan would benefit from the amplification of strengthening. However, this divine skill was meant to be a trump card held in reserve, and using it would lead to a brief period of weakness. Lin Yuan wouldn't use it unless absolutely necessary. Outside the 9 floors dark tower. The stone statue Shinji, who had been eagerly watching Lin Yuan's tower-challenging ordeal, had fallen silent at some point. Watching Lin Yuan, who was advancing through the tower unabated toward the central black staircase, statue Shinji's freshly awakened mind turned to mush once more. What had he seen? An 8th layer being charging through the tower challenge. This was beyond belief for stone statue Shinji, who had guarded the 9 floors dark tower for untold years and witnessed the peak of the Moyu Tower's glory, encountering genius after genius that defied explanation. But at the 8th layer, no matter how strong a genius one was, to pass through the first floor of the Black Tower one would need to be extremely cautious, advancing slowly and tentatively. Not excluding 8th layer beings that mastered the complete space rules. As for charging, indeed, the faster one completed the tower challenge, the richer the rewards. Stone statue Shinji would proactively inform every challenger of this. But that was all he would do. It was like saying, if you work hard at your cultivation, one day you might become a supreme being. Just talk. A basic encouragement. To get through the first floor was already very difficult for an 8th layer being. Where would they have the luxury to consider speed? 1 cosmic force, 2 cosmic forces, 50 cosmic forces. Stone statue Shinji, numb from counting, watched as Lin Yuan activated cosmic forces one after another, which also caught his eye. But the more he saw, the more alarmed he became. Where would you find an 8th layer being that controlled dozens of cosmic forces at once? Does that make any sense? Is that still an 8th layer being? Stone statue Shinji fell into self-doubt. He even speculated whether, during his slumber, something earth-shattering had happened in the outside world that made the comprehension of cosmic forces easier. But no matter how much easier, those were still cosmic forces, right? That cosmic force. Stone statue Shinji's pupils constricted slightly, his gaze fixated on a certain drifting cosmic force. This cosmic force radiated the aura of the primal. It was indeed the primal force. Higher cosmic force. No, this is not a higher cosmic force. Statue Shinji's heart was struck by a tidal wave of shock. Cosmic forces were of two kinds. One is the ordinary cosmic force. The other is the higher cosmic force. Actually, even among ordinary cosmic forces and higher cosmic forces, there are levels of strength and weakness. Some ordinary and higher cosmic forces are simply stronger than others of the same tier. But even the strongest have their limits. The strand of primal force now before the statue was fundamentally superior to all higher cosmic forces. Source-level cosmic force. This is the source-level cosmic force. The stone statue Shinji's mind was somewhat befuddled. To an 8th-layer being, the source-level cosmic force was legendary. An 8th-layer life form could hope to comprehend the cosmic force, but this typically referred only to the ordinary cosmic forces or the higher-level cosmic forces at most. Even higher-level cosmic forces were rare. As for an 8th-layer life form comprehending the source-level cosmic force. Even though the stone statue had once followed the Moyu Tower Master, it had only heard of such a feat. A freak of nature like this, even during the heyday of the magic Jade Tower, would be immediately taken in by the Moyu Tower Master as a direct disciple and nurtured with all resources. Yet Lin Yuan not only achieved this, but had also casually comprehended dozens of other types of cosmic forces, among which more than 10 were high-level cosmic forces. Master, how good it would have been if you had disappeared later. Stone statue Shinji's heart trembled internally, an existence that comprehended origin power during its 8th-layer lifespan, with a bit of nurturing, wouldn't need 1,000,000 years to become a force to be reckoned with in a region. First layer of the Black Tower. The thing Lin Yuan worried about didn't happen. After crushing that black 8-clawed creature, there was no significant resistance met afterward. Lin Yuan thus easily arrived at the central staircase. Whoosh! Stone statue Shinji appeared here. Staring intently at Lin Yuan as if witnessing some rare treasure. Senior Shinji, Lin Yuan tentatively asked, do you think the speed at which I completed the first layer is considered fast? Knowing that the faster one cleared the tower, the richer the rewards would be, Lin Yuan had held back almost nothing just now. Aside from his physical body divine ability strengthening, he had gone all out. Is it considered fast? Stone statue Shinji once again fell silent. It wasn't just fast. At the 8th-layer life stage, Lin Yuan's speed in completing the first layer was unquestionably the fastest, and even opened up a gap like the heavens and earth with the one in second place. Very fast. Stone statue Shinji took a deep breath, calming the shock within its heart. That's good to hear. Lin Yuan was relieved. In an all-out situation, he believed that no 8th-layer powerhouse in the main world's universe would be his match. But the magic Jade Tower was not a power from the main world, it came from beyond the universe, so Lin Yuan was still very humble. With your potential, for the rewards of the first layer, you may pick any 3, said stone statue Shinji. Normally, after passing the first layer of the Dark Tower, one would be bestowed a treasure, the value of which was determined by a combination of factors like the speed of clearing the tower and the potential displayed. Lin Yuan, with one source-level cosmic force and more than a dozen higher-level cosmic forces, and dozens of ordinary cosmic forces, had completely surpassed the limits of stone statue Shinji. Therefore, all the treasures of the first layer were laid out for Lin Yuan to choose from himself, and the number was also increased from 1 to 3. This was the greatest authority that stone statue Shinji possessed. All right. Lin Yuan looked forward with anticipation. However, before you select the treasures, there's a process to go through. The stone statue took out a black mirror. This mirror can sense the traces of time, estimating your real age approximately, said the stone statue. This was also a measure of potential, the same speed in clearing the tower, the younger the age, naturally, the higher the potential. But rest assured, it's just a formality, with the cosmic force you wield, even if you were 5 million years old, it wouldn't affect the final awarding of your reward, the stone statue spoke. The lifespan limit of an 8th layer being is 5 million years. Here, 5 million years refers to the limit after employing all possible life-extending methods. A normal 8th layer being would be coming to the end of its life close to 1 million years old. What the stone statue Shinji meant was, no matter how old Lin Yuan was, merely possessing the source-level cosmic force was enough to completely disregard it. After saying this, the stone statue activated the black mirror. Suddenly, a hazy light enveloped Lin Yuan, and immediately ancient characters appeared on the mirror. The stone statue gave it a casual glance, thinking that confirming Lin Yuan's age was completely meaningless. If it weren't for the rules set by the demonic Jade Tower Master, he would have already laid out the rewards for Lin Yuan to choose from. As stone statue Shinji was contemplating which 3 rewards Lin Yuan would pick, its gaze indifferently glanced at the ancient characters on the black mirror. In that instant, the stone statue's expression once again froze. He carefully examined the characters on the mirror, turned his head incredulously towards Lin Yuan and said, "You are only 2,000 years old. 2,000 years at the 8th layer. 2,000 years and comprehended dozens of cosmic forces. 2,000 years and comprehended source-level cosmic force." Stone statue Shinji felt as if its entire understanding of the world was collapsing. Chapter 5083 Treasures, please subscribe, over 2,000 years old. Lin Yuan was also carefully observing the black mirror. Having traversed the door to the myriad realms 8 times, he had stayed for 20 years, 80 years, 160 years, 300 years, 500 years, 600 years, 30 years, and 920 years respectively. Adding up all the stay durations, it amounted to 2,610 years, and if the time in the main world were included as well, Lin Yuan's precise age would be 2,630 years. This precise age refers to the age of the spirit will, which is the fundamental age for judging a being. As for the physical age, the soul age, neither can fundamentally measure the true years a life has experienced. After all, the body can be changed, the soul can also be abandoned, but only the spirit will. True spirit is the core of life. To so precisely ascertain my true age, Lin Yuan was somewhat surprised. When he previously met Xia Qin Supreme Being, the latter had also sensed Lin Yuan's real age, but not as precisely as this mirror. Xia Qin Supreme Being had mastered the complete rule of time. It was not surprising that he could perceive the true temporal years Lin Yuan had experienced. But this mirror, it must be a treasure involving the rule of time, Lin Yuan guessed to himself. Time-related treasures, containing the power of time, can only be crafted by those who fully master the rule of time. How exactly did you practice? In just over 2,000 years, not only did you reach the 8th layer, but also comprehend so much cosmic force. The stone statue Shinji couldn't comprehend. Could it be you've never encountered any bottlenecks or constraints? The stone statue Shinji found it somewhat absurd. Considering Lin Yuan's displayed talents, even at the age of 4 million or 5 million years, it would be considered incredible. As for just over 2,000 years, what can be achieved in just over 2,000 years? Grasping even one type of cosmic force. At this moment, the stone statue was full of speculations, such as whether the black mirror might be malfunctioning. Or could Lin Yuan be a legendary temporal life? The former was almost impossible, as the black mirror, crafted by the Moyu Tower Master, contained the complete rule of time. Even if there were issues with this test space, it would not malfunction. And the latter, temporal life born within time, living in the river of time, existing in the past, present, and future. Time could not leave any marks on them, so could that be why they escaped detection by the black mirror? But even for someone as great as the demonic Jade Tower Master, temporal life was only something he had heard about and never actually seen. The stone statue Shinji found it increasingly difficult to understand. Even if another freak of nature, could they at least conform to some basic logic? Lin Yuan, however, shattered his perceptions in one fell swoop. What the stone statue Shinji didn't know was that the strength at the 8th layer and the several types of cosmic force were merely a part of Lin Yuan's achievements over the past 2,000 years. Lin Yuan's greatest achievement was pioneering the martial path evolutionary path, where his real efforts lay. The martial path evolutionary path was Lin Yuan's strongest confidence in becoming a supreme being in the future, whether it was the space rules or other laws, or the various cosmic forces. All served the martial path evolutionary path. Maybe my understanding is a bit higher than others. Lin Yuan pondered and then said. A bit higher. The stone statue Shinji remained silent. Was it just a bit? Alright, I don't care how you managed to accomplish these things, but with the talents and potential you've displayed, you can choose 3 treasures from all the rewards of the Black Tower's 1st layer and 2nd layer, said stone statue Shinji. Those who normally passed the 1st layer of Magic Jade Tower would receive a random treasure from that level, and these treasures generally ranked in the mid to lower tier among all the rewards of the 1st layer. Lin Yuan, through the use of dozens of types of cosmic force, including source-level cosmic force, demonstrated potential far beyond stone statue's imagination, hence the decision to let Lin Yuan choose any 3 items from the numerous treasures of the 1st layer. 3 picks, and of their choice. No one knew how much stronger this was compared to a random award. But now, upon learning that Lin Yuan was only just over 2,000 years old, the stone statue expanded the selection change from rewards of the 1st layer to include those of the 2nd layer as well. The demonic Jade Tower Master originally designed this training space so that each layer had its own separate reward treasury. The higher the Black Tower's levels, the richer and more rare its corresponding reward treasury. The 2nd layer's reward treasury was naturally much more superior than that of the 1st layers. Lin Yuan, having only overcome the 1st layer yet being allowed to choose rewards including many from the 2nd layer's treasury, can only imagine the shock in the statue's heart. If it weren't for the fact that the numerous treasures in the reward treasury of the 3rd layer of the Black Tower were basically useless to Lin Yuan, it might have even opened up the 3rd layer's treasury for him. After finishing, stone statue Shinji raised its right hand, and multiple layers of screens appeared in front of Lin Yuan. They recorded many treasures and rare items. So many treasures. Lin Yuan's heart rate sped up, and the majority of the treasures recorded on the reward list were unheard of by him, but their unparalleled value was confirmed through the remarks and explanations beside each reward item. In the main world, they could make those at the 9th rank and 10th rank break their heads over them. Even the origin fine gold obtained by Chikuin Star Lord at a great expense was only ranked towards the bottom on this list of rewards. Too many, too many. Lin Yuan reviewed the list several times, finding it difficult to choose, mainly because he had never heard of most of the treasure rewards, although there was a basic remark explaining each item on the list. Chapter 5093 Treasures. Please subscribe. _2 Yet merely relying on these annotations made it difficult to fully understand the treasure reward and to ascertain whether it was suitable for oneself. Senior Shinji, Lin Yuan's gaze shifted from the reward list to the stone statue Shinji standing beside him. I'm unsure which 3 treasure rewards to choose. Lin Yuan found it hard to make a choice because he was unfamiliar with these reward treasures. But as the keeper of this trial space, the stone statue Shinji, who had control over the rewards for each layer, certainly knew the value of each treasure. Would you like me to choose for you? An unusual expression appeared on the face of the stone statue Shinji. Normally, he was too lazy to bother with these matters, but having been lonely for many years, coupled with Lin Yuan exhibiting an unreasonable and incomprehensible talent, he was quite willing to offer his suggestions. Are you looking to select the most valuable treasure rewards or the ones most suitable for you? The stone statue Shinji asked, needing to understand Lin Yuan's needs to offer specific suggestions. The ones suitable for me, Lin Yuan said without hesitation. Most of the treasures on the reward list were ones Lin Yuan had never even heard of, suggesting they might be hard to acquire even in the main world. Therefore, it was best to choose the most suitable ones, as the value of a treasure was irrelevant if it could not be utilized properly. Then I do have some thoughts. The stone statue Shinji observed Lin Yuan for a moment, then spoke earnestly. For you, right now, the most critical thing is to fully comprehend the complete space rules. Fully comprehend the complete space rules. Lin Yuan was slightly taken aback. Normal beings of the 8th layer indeed don't need to fully comprehend the complete space rules to break through to the 9th rank. The stone statue Shinji glanced at Lin Yuan. Because given the vastness of the space rules, it is sufficient to grasp just a small portion to encompass and integrate with other rules, the stone statue Shinji said. Right, Lin Yuan nodded. The Taiyin rule and Taiyang rule could be integrated only when Lin Yuan had completely understood both. This is because the Taiyin rule and Taiyang rule are on the same level, and to integrate them, it is necessary to fully comprehend both. However, the space rules are a foundational rule, far surpassing ordinary rules in vastness, and integration with ordinary rules doesn't require full comprehension. But this is under normal circumstances, the stone statue Shinji sighed. Even though some beings of the 8th layer who discover several types of cosmic force might blend them with ordinary rules into the space rules when breaking through to the 9th rank, it hardly impacts them much, he continued, pausing briefly, but you have discovered too many types of cosmic force, including one that is of the source level. For you to step into the 9th rank, you must comprehend the complete space rules fully, he added. Only with the complete space rules can you support the numerous types of cosmic force you have discovered. The stone statue Shinji finished and fell silent. So that's it, Lin Yuan suddenly realized. No wonder he had been struggling recently with the integration of the rules, it was because the space rules he had grasped were insufficient. This wasn't surprising since the Human Alliance and the main world's description of how to ascend to the 9th rank never mentioned how to integrate so many types of cosmic force. Moreover, since Lin Yuan had not revealed that he had discovered numerous types of cosmic force, others, even if willing, could not provide relevant advice. So, I recommend the first treasure you should choose is Void Interpretation, the stone statue Shinji slowly said. Void Interpretation. Lin Yuan's eyes lit up as he immediately found the description of the treasure in the reward list. Void Interpretation is the Moyu Tower Master's interpretation and understanding of space. The explanation was brief, but what caught Lin Yuan's attention was that this Void Interpretation came from the Moyu Tower Master. Space rules are boundless and infinite. What we call complete mastery of space rules is merely mastering certain aspects. The Master's Void Interpretation offers another perspective to interpret and understand the space rules, and this, for you, should be very useful. Even if you eventually comprehend the complete space rules, it will still be effective, the stone statue explained seriously while looking at Lin Yuan. Good. I'll choose that one, Lin Yuan immediately said. What kind of being is the Moyu Tower Master? A single phrase from him is invaluable, let alone a complete void interpretation. Thus, after hearing the suggestion from stone statue Shinji, Lin Yuan made up his mind. Very well. A smile appeared on the face of stone statue Shinji. Although Lin Yuan possessed a talent and aptitude rarely seen in the world, even the demonic Jade Tower Master at the 8th layer was far inferior. However, even the most extraordinary talent needs to follow the correct path to be effective, and in the reward repository of the 1st and 2nd layers of the 9 floors Dark Tower, there was no lack of treasures that greatly enhanced combat power. Yet on the path of life's evolution, the usefulness of combat power is far less than the transformation of life itself. This is void interpretation, the masterwork of my lord. I hope you will comprehend it well. Stone statue Shinji waved his right hand. A silver-white book appeared in the air, over a meter tall, radiating faint spatial fluctuations. Lin Yuan, gazing at the book, felt as if he was looking at the vast space rules. Lin Yuan stared at the silver-white book. Characters of silver-white began to detach from the book, moving towards Lin Yuan, merging into his forehead one after another. One after another, the silver-white characters, each containing a massive amount of information, if written using human civilization's language, even tens of millions of words would not adequately express it. Finally, 3,333 silver-white characters merged into Lin Yuan's forehead, after which the entire silver-white book began to disintegrate, disappearing without a trace. Lin Yuan closed his eyes. At the same time, on the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's true body also closed his eyes. In the depths of his mind, 3,333 silver-white characters emitted a silvery glow. Lin Yuan carefully examined each character, never realizing before how much, how profound, information just one character could convey. Your comprehension is against the heavens. Watching the mystic text rapidly enhances your understanding of the space rules. Your comprehension is against the heavens. Watching the mystic text rapidly enhances your understanding of the space rules. Your comprehension is against the heavens. Watching the mystic text rapidly enhances your understanding of the space rules. With each moment, an abundance of inspiration about space surged into his mind. Lin Yuan had never thought that spacing could also be comprehended this way. It was not purely understanding of space, but also of the 5 elements, of lightning, of light, and so forth, delving deeper and deeper into understanding space. Pause. Just moments later, Lin Yuan felt he had comprehended 4 core spatial models in succession. Struck it big. Lin Yuan steadied his spirit, his attention reluctantly moving away from the characters in his mind. Worthy of the demonic Jade Tower Master's interpretation of space, Lin Yuan was excited. Each character contains endless depth, presenting a perspective on space different from that of human civilization. Lin Yuan took a deep breath. He felt that even a supreme being, upon viewing this void interpretation, would be deeply moved. Supreme beings had comprehended complete rules of time, complete space rules, but each supreme being's understanding of these rules was different. 9 floors dark tower. Lin Yuan opened his eyes. Void interpretation was currently being fully comprehended by his true body, even setting aside the fusion rules because comprehending the complete space rules first significantly enhances the efficiency of merging the Taiji rules and various cosmic forces. Alright. Stone statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan and said, warmly, as for the second treasure, I suggest you choose this one. A thought from the stone statue, and a painting appeared in front of them. Within the painting, a young tree swayed, emanating boundless and endless cosmic power of the world. Chapter 5:10 Suggesting the Galaxy Master to come over, please subscribe, a world tree sapling. Lin Yuan also found this treasure from the reward list. Actually, Lin Yuan had been paying attention to the world tree sapling for a while, since it was one of the few treasures he recognized. In the cosmic starry skies of the main world, the world tree is a rare treasure that is found only by chance. Its world fruits can open up an inner world for an evolver ahead of time, putting them far ahead of their peers at the same level. As even Lin Yuan, with his against heaven's understanding, only painfully achieved his inner world at the moment he advanced from the 6th rank peak to the 7th rank. And yet, the world fruit could directly accomplish this feat, which speaks volumes about the value of the world tree. You have integrated dozens of cosmic forces with the complete space rules, establishing a profoundly terrifying foundation, and your inner world also must have a treasure of sufficient weight to preside over it. The world tree is most suitable. The stone statue Shinji spoke. There are many uses for the world tree, including presiding over the inner world and stabilizing all the energetic rules within it, like earth, wind, fire, and water. A single world tree is more useful than tens of thousands of cosmic rare treasures. Even if the world tree presides over the inner world, it could potentially expand it further, possibly breaking the shackles that limit human evolution to millions of miles in their inner worlds. Among the treasures in the first and second layers of the reward treasury, the value of the world tree sapling ranks in the top 3. I even think it's the first. The stone statue spoke. The reason I think is because at the level of treasures like the world tree sapling, it's hard to clearly distinguish the first from the second. It completely depends on whether it suits the individual. Then let's go with the World Tree sapling, Lin Yuan nodded. Even without the stone statue Shinjia's suggestion, Lin Yuan would most likely have chosen the World Tree sapling anyway. After all, with what human civilization knows about the World Tree, Lin Yuan was very eager to have one of his own. Planting the World Tree sapling in the inner world, generally speaking, the more abundant the essence of the inner world, the faster the World Tree sapling will grow, the stone statue Shinji said. Understood, Lin Yuan nodded. Once the World Tree matures, it will produce world fruits, a treasure of immense value. Even if Lin Yuan doesn't use them himself, he could easily sell them. It's estimated that even supreme beings would be willing to pay a price to purchase world fruits, to lay a foundation for their offspring. With the power of the world fruits, even a 6th rank evolver could open up an inner world, similar to a weakened version of Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan. As for the third treasure, I currently have no suggestions, the stone statue Shinji spoke. No suggestions, Lin Yuan glanced at the reward list again. Currently, he wasn't lacking anything and didn't know which treasure to choose as a reward. If he chose wrongly, Lin Yuan guessed he would regret it for a long time. Master Shinji, is it possible to keep the last chance to choose a reward for later use? Lin Yuan tentatively asked. Once a treasure from the reward list is chosen, it cannot be exchanged, and Lin Yuan planned to decide later. No problem, the stone statue Shinji nodded. If it were during the heyday of the Magic Jade Tower, when practitioners were always entering the Black Tower, it would naturally be better to choose from the reward list as soon as possible. After all, if you choose too late, you might find that other practitioners have already taken the treasure, but now? For countless millennia, only Lin Yuan has been such a practitioner, and it's predictable that, for a long time to come, it will still only be Lin Yuan. So there is virtually no chance that the treasures from the reward list will be picked before him. With no one else competing, who would make a selection? Do you plan on trying the second layer? The stone statue asked with a smile. The first layer of the Black Tower is only passable by 8th layer beings who have fully comprehended the complete space rules or several other powerful cosmic forces. And the second layer of the Black Tower? It has nothing to do with 8th layer beings, but only the very strongest among the 9th rank could hope to pass through the second layer of the Black Tower. Even Lin Yuan, who has mastered dozens of cosmic forces, including the source-level cosmic force, stands no chance of passing through the second layer of the Black Tower. The essence of his life is such that, although the source-level cosmic force offers unlimited potential, he would need to continue growing. Currently, as an 8th layer being, even with the source-level cosmic force, he definitely could not pass through the second layer of the Black Tower. The stone statue's inquiry about whether Lin Yuan intended to try passing the second layer was simply out of boredom, hoping Lin Yuan might stay in this training space a while longer. Lin Yuan nodded. Following the black stairs, he arrived at the second layer of the Black Tower. Seeing this, the stone statue disappeared into the distance and reappeared outside the 9 floors dark tower. Rustling. A series of images appeared before the stone statue, showing every detail of the second layer of the Black Tower. The pressure has increased a lot. Upon arriving at the second layer of the Black Tower, Lin Yuan immediately felt a terrifying pressure coming from all directions. Varieties of cosmic forces operated around him, and even the source-level cosmic force, the primal force, circulated around him as Lin Yuan walked with difficulty toward the central black stairway of the second layer. Time elapsed. Lin Yuan had quickly covered a third of the distance. But the next moment, dozens of cosmic forces all shattered, and along with them, the primal force also dissipated into nothing. With the loss of the numerous cosmic forces' protection, Lin Yuan's form also dissipated into nothingness. Failed. Outside the 9 floors dark tower, the stone statue Shinji showed no sign of surprise. Actually, the fact that Lin Yuan had managed to cover a third of the distance on the second layer of the Black Tower was already incredibly unbelievable. You should know, this layer is completely intended for 9th rank beings, and Lin Yuan managing a third already surpassed many 9th rank beings. Chapter 511 suggesting inviting the Galaxy Master over. Please subscribe. _2 Even some of the strongest beings within the 9th rank lifeforms were no match for Lin Yuan. Of course, being no match here was entirely in terms of spirit will and the various cosmic forces. The power that 9th rank lifeforms possessed far exceeded just these aspects, but the 9 floors Dark Tower specifically tested these areas. It's a pity, you came too late. If you had appeared while the Master was still here, the rewards you would have received would be far more than just these treasures, stone statue Shinji sighed. Given the talent and aptitude Lin Yuan had shown, had the Moyu Tower Master known, he would definitely have been cultivated like a precious treasure. But now, there was no choice but to make do with these treasures for emergencies. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan once again opened his eyes. The second layer is too difficult. Lin Yuan pondered solemnly. Based on the experience of the first layer of the Black Tower, after walking 1/3 of the distance, illusory creatures condensed out of thin air would appear. Yet Lin Yuan hadn't even seen these illusory creatures before he was crushed by the omnipresent pressure. Dozens of cosmic forces could not withstand it. If I had comprehended the complete space rules, could I break through the second layer? Lin Yuan wondered to himself. While the complete space rules didn't allow Lin Yuan to have the energy to teleport or shift in the second layer of the Black Tower, his command over the space rules allowed him to greatly diminish the overwhelming pressure that bore down on him. Space rules were mysterious and unpredictable. With the power of the space rules, Lin Yuan could completely twist and stretch the space within inches around him to form a vast space of thousands of miles. Thus, even the greatest pressure would be significantly weakened upon entering this space. It feels like even with the complete space rules apprehended, the hope to break through the second layer is still slim. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. According to stone statue Shinji, the second layer of the Black Tower was entirely prepared for 9th rank lifeforms, and only the most powerful among 9th rank lifeforms could hope to break through. In other words, most 9th rank lifeforms had no hope of breaking through the second layer. And while not all 9th rank lifeforms had mastered the complete space rules, it was clear that most could not be associated with this feat. Many 9th rank lifeforms who had mastered the complete space rules still could not break through the second layer. I have another trump card, which is the divine skill enhancement, Lin Yuan silently thought to himself. The reason he hadn't used the divine skill enhancement while attempting the second layer earlier had been simply because it was pointless. At that point, Lin Yuan had only completed 1/3 of the journey. Using divine skill enhancement then, with only 10 breaths duration, he could not have possibly covered the remaining 2/3 of the distance. I'll see when the time comes. Lin Yuan's stream of thought receded. The rewards from the 9 floors Dark Tower were too rich for Lin Yuan to let such an opportunity slip by casually. Even if he couldn't break through the second layer at the 8th layer, once he stepped into the 9th rank, he would definitely try again. World Tree, Lin Yuan calmed his mind and looked at a sapling in front of him, with a fervent look in his eyes. This Moyu Tower Master, in terms of spatial attainment, has reached an unbelievable level. He just sent this World Tree sapling to me following the magic jade mark. Lin Yuan's expression was filled with emotion. What had descended to the demon jade space was just a wisp of Lin Yuan's spirit will, unable to bring back any physical item. Even knowing that the demon jade space was not in the main world and was incredibly distant from it, still being able to accomplish this feat, astonished Lin Yuan himself. This was akin to the door to the myriad realms. The door to the myriad realms, as long as sufficient world-breaking origin force was paid, could also transport items from the main world into various realms, or bring items from those realms back to the main world. Of course, it was but a similarity. The task of carrying items through the myriad rank gateway involved crossing different dimensional strata, which transcended the concept of space itself, countless times more sophisticated than what the Moyu Tower Master had achieved. However distant the demon jade space was from the main world, it was still within the same stratum and the same dimension. Let's plant the world tree in the inner world quickly. With a mere thought, Lin Yuan brought the world tree sapling into his inner world. In the center of his inner world, vast enough to span billions of miles, the figure of Lin Yuan appeared, holding a sapling half a meter tall. Rustling. Lin Yuan gently placed the world tree sapling on the ground. The sapling's roots began to burrow into the soil, slowly absorbing the power of the world. A very peculiar feeling. Lin Yuan's expression shifted. As the world tree took root in his inner world, Lin Yuan had a strange sensation. It was as if the world tree was a descendant of his own bloodline. It's absorbing the power of the world. Lin Yuan felt clearly that the world tree's sapling was slowly absorbing the power of the world into its trunk. As the power of the world entered the sapling, Lin Yuan also sensed that he was rapidly refining the world tree's sapling. There's no noticeable change. Lin Yuan briefly sensed his inner world and found the world tree's sapling hadn't had any significant effect yet. Let's take it slow. Lin Yuan understood that the world tree was too small at present, and even if its quality was astoundingly high, it could not have an impact on a world spanning billions of miles. Milky Way main star. After settling the world tree's sapling, Lin Yuan began to contemplate void interpretation. The evolutionary scholars of human civilization in the main world had divided complete space rules into basic spatial models and core spatial models. Only those who had apprehended these two types of spatial models could master the complete space rules. But this was merely the understanding of those pioneering evolutionary scholars of human civilization. In fact, the space rules were boundless and infinite. How could a mere few thousand or tens of thousands of spatial models encompass the true space rules? Chapter 5:12 suggesting inviting the Galaxy Master over. Please subscribe. _3 The so-called basic space model and core space model are nothing but attempts by human evolvers to understand a certain aspect of the space rules through their evolution. The void interpretation, written by the Moyu Tower Master, on the other hand, interprets the space rules from a perspective entirely different from that of humans. In the Moyu Tower Master's understanding, everything in the world originates from space, and the many rules, including the 5 elements rules, thunderclap rules, and light rules, are all part of the space rules. Can the space rules really be comprehended in this way? Is there really such a side to the space rules? Lin Yuan suddenly became somewhat obsessed, continuously struck by flashes of insight. And while persistently pondering over the void interpretation, Lin Yuan's understanding of the spatial models deepened without cease. He soon penetrated the 6,000th core space model and was making rapid progress toward the 7,000th one. Battlefield B0001. This medium-sized otherworldly battlefield is the oldest among all the battlefields of different races, a battleground where human civilization clashed with one of the peak clans, the Tianyu clan. The Tianyu clan resembled humans in appearance, their height generally ranging from 5 to 10 meters, except they had pure white wings, which symbolized a clansman's status and potential in the Tianyu clan. For 2 million years, countless evolvers from human civilization fought bitterly with the Tianyu clan, with a ferocity that even surpassed that of the conflicts between human civilization and the insect race. Every day, many human evolvers perished at the hands of the formidable members of the Tianyu clan, and likewise, many powerful Tianyu clan members died at the hands of human civilization's evolvers. At this moment, on one side of battlefield B0001, a group of dozens of 8th-layer invincible evolvers gathered, discussing war strategies against the Tianyu clan. In a few years at most, the Tianyu clan will inevitably launch a full-scale war to determine the ownership of that star domain, the leading short and stout 8th-layer invincible said with a solemn tone, speaking slowly. Human civilization specifically established numerous battlefields to control the impact of war within certain limits as much as possible. If they fought in the starry sky instead of on the designated battlefields, it would surely result in the destruction of numerous planets. Even if they won the war, they would only inherit a star domain full of scars and desolation. Previously, Lin Yuan had gone to the Milky Way star region to take up the position of Galaxy Master, and the original master of that star domain belonged to the Shadow Tribe. The Shadow Tribe, after losing and conceding defeat in the battlefield conflict with human civilization, voluntarily gave up the control of a star domain. This was also an arrangement agreed upon by the major peak clans in the alliance. And now, the clash between human civilization and the heavenly race would decide the ownership of a vast star domain. The Tianyu clan is well prepared and determined to win that star domain, having mobilized several 8th-layer invincibles. Our chances of victory are not great, a woman clad in blue robes said. It wasn't that human civilization was inferior to the Tianyu clan, rather, sometime earlier, human civilization had deployed a large number of evolvers to engage in a war with another peak clan. This had led to a shortage of evolvers available for the current conflict. I do have a proposal, an 8th-layer invincible spoke up at that moment. Speak, the short and stout elder said immediately. He too was concerned about the upcoming war against the Tianyu clan. Not long ago, the Galaxy Master subdued 5 8th-layer invincible aliens. Repelling 3 and slaying 2, his fame is illustrious. The third 8th-layer invincible evolver slowly began, therefore, my proposal is, this 8th-layer invincible evolver looked around, to invite the Galaxy Master here, no matter what the cost. Chapter 513 Great Scholar Tay, when did you become a great scholar too? Please subscribe, go invite the Galaxy Master. The other 8th-layer invincible evolvers glanced at each other. Battlefield B0001 is the oldest medium-sized battlefield, gathering a large number of evolvers from human civilization and strong individuals from the Tianyu clan. In terms of the intensity of war, Battlefield B0001 is second only to the large alien battlefield, often witnessing battles among 8th-layer invincible beings. The number of 8th-layer invincible beings deployed by human civilization in this battlefield even exceeds several dozen. Moreover, aside from the 8th-layer invincible beings, there are also 9th-rank powers paying attention. Of course, whether it is from the side of human civilization or the Tianyu clan, 9th-rank powers only pay attention and basically do not intervene. Once 9th-rank powers enter the fray, the nature of the battle shifts, and the entire battlefield could be decimated. The alliances of several peak clans in the cosmic starry skies restrict the actions of 9th-rank powers as much as possible, except in large battlefields, where it is rare for 9th-rank powers to act. Previously, when human civilization dispatched multiple 9th-rank evolvers to purge several powerful clans within the insect race alliance, it was because the insect race had openly severed diplomatic ties. Inviting the Galaxy Master, that indeed is a solution. Many of the 8th-layer invincible evolvers nodded in agreement. Being 8th-layer invincible, they are naturally extremely proud, but they harbor no doubts about the Galaxy Master. In that battle within the Milky Way star region, the Galaxy Master, facing 5 opponents alone, killed 2 of the 8th-layer invincible from different species, with such ferocity, which 8th-layer invincible would dare to harbor other thoughts. The Galaxy Master, through his own power, raised the combat power limit of 8th-layer invincibles, and even shattered the myth of their invincibility, being acclaimed as the first 8th-layer evolver of human civilization, or more precisely, the foremost 8th-layer evolver in the history of human civilization. But, what price should we pay to invite the Galaxy Master? Asked a woman in blue robes. With the strength of the Galaxy Master, there indeed was hope to turn the tide of the battlefield, at least to hold off a significant portion of the 8th-layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan. Under such circumstances, human civilization would be virtually unbeatable. All that is well and good. The problem is what kind of price to pay. If the price is too low, the Galaxy Master would not bother to come. If the price is too high, then there is no upper limit, and they are also unclear exactly how high a price would be necessary to invite the Galaxy Master. I've decided to yield 1/10 of the total merit points from the upcoming wars in this battlefield. A short, plump figure pondered for a while and said earnestly. 1/10 of the total merit points. The many 8th-layer invincible evolvers were shocked. The total merit points from a battlefield involve a very large number of merit points. Why do those star lords of star domains continually seek to take over and manage one alien battlefield after another? Merely to serve human civilization. Of course, because managing an alien battlefield can yield substantial benefits, among which merit points are the most important aspect. As long as we can hold our own against the Tianyu clan, let's yield it. The 8th layer Invincible Evolvers pondered for a while and agreed. Losing the war against the Tianyu clan, for those 8th layer Invincible Evolvers who reside permanently on the battlefield, would also require a huge price, perhaps even losing this avatar. In that case, then I will contact the Goddess of Freedom, who will reach out to the Galaxy Master. The short, plump figure spoke. Mobilizing an 8th layer Invincible, especially a legendary 8th layer Invincible like Lin Yuan, certainly requires the approval of the Goddess of Freedom. Simultaneously, the price they agreed upon also needs to be certified by the Goddess of Freedom, which is also a way to express their sincerity to the Galaxy Master. Demon Jade Space. 2nd layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's form reappeared, an invisible yet profound pressure assaulting him from all directions. Confronting the enveloping pressure with various cosmic forces, could it help me develop more techniques of utilizing cosmic forces? Lin Yuan thought to himself. Ever since his last failed attempt at conquering the 2nd layer of the Black Tower, he occasionally re-entered the 9 floors Dark Tower using the magic Jade Mark. By utilizing the pressure of the 2nd layer, he trained in the use of various cosmic forces. In the main world, for beings of the 8th layer, cosmic force is unique, so there are simply no techniques for its utilization. But in the spirit realm, many supreme immortal kings mastered various powers of creation, and the combination of different creative powers could often unleash even greater might. The internal environment of the 9 floors Dark Tower, especially designed for cosmic force and understanding of space rules, combined with Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, could completely allow him to better grasp the techniques of utilizing cosmic forces through continuous adjustment and adaptation. Of course, Lin Yuan's visits here were merely considered a pastime during his periods of comprehending space rules. He would come here to relax whenever he felt tired. Outside the 9 floors Dark Tower. The stone statue Shinji was also observing Lin Yuan's performance on the 2nd layer. This young fellow, treating the training ground left by the master as a stepping stone, the stone statue Shinji shook its head. But it's good, I'm indeed looking forward to what achievements you might have in the future. Stone statue Shinji stared at the screen featuring Lin Yuan. A moment later, Lin Yuan voluntarily gave up. Expelled from the 9 floors Dark Tower, he appeared outside the Black Tower. How's it going, kid? The stone statue asked with a smile. Got some insights, Lin Yuan said, though in fact, it was more than just some. He had just concretely realized 6 types of cosmic force techniques, including 3 advanced cosmic forces. Fully sensing the essence of cosmic force will greatly benefit the ultimate sublimation and transformation of your inner world into an inner universe, the stone statue Shinji stated. Inner universe, Lin Yuan's expression became slightly solemn. Chapter 5:14 Great Scholar Tay, when did you also become a great scholar? Please subscribe. _2 Why does the cosmic force realized by an invincible 8th layer practitioner offer great benefits during 9th layer cultivation? It is because the cosmic force is the fundamental power of the universe, starry skies and the main world, realized and fused into the pillar rules at the 8th layer, transforming the inner world and imbuing it with a trace of the cosmic starry skies fundamental power. When the inner world ascends to an inner universe, it will act as a catalyst. With the cosmic force at your command, coupled with the world tree suppression, ascending your inner world to an inner universe in the future should pose no difficulties. The only thing you need to be mindful of is what kind of inner universe will be ascended to. The stone statue Shinji gazed at Lin Yuan. Even among inner universes, there are distinctions between strong and weak. The stone statue Shinji was curious about what degree Lin Yuan's future inner universe would reach. dozens of ordinary cosmic forces, more than 10 superior cosmic forces, plus one source-level cosmic force. What kind of inner universe will it form? It's a pity that the upper limit of your race is not high. Even if you fully comprehend the complete space rules, the maximum extent of your inner world would be tens of millions of miles. If it could be a bit larger, the stone statue spoke up to this point, then suddenly laughed. What was it thinking? Even if the inner world was only tens of millions of miles in extent, with so many cosmic forces integrated, it could turn decay into magic. Lin Yuan was about to speak. His expression suddenly changed slightly. The goddess of freedom is looking for me. A thought crossed Lin Yuan's mind. Milky Way main star. The voice of the goddess of freedom suddenly reached Lin Yuan's ears. Respected scholar Yuan, compared to the solemn and aloof voice of the goddess of wisdom, the voice of the goddess of freedom was filled with coldness and a killing intent, making it very distinctive. Goddess of freedom. Lin Yuan's tone was slightly solemn. In human civilization, the status of the three goddesses is not less than that of the 9 supreme beings. Over more than 2 million years, the 3 ultimate AI goddesses have made indelible contributions. Very soon. The goddess of freedom conveyed the invitation from the B0001 exotic battlefield to Lin Yuan. You want me to go to this battlefield of different races to confront numerous strong ones from the Tianyu clan? Lin Yuan raised his eyebrows slightly. As long as I agree, will I receive 1/10 of the total merit from the upcoming war? Lin Yuan was somewhat tempted. The B0001 exotic battlefield had arrangements from the human civilization and the Tianyu clan's numerous strong ones involved, hence the associated merit was naturally colossal. Even just 1/10 was probably in the tens of millions. Just by making a move once, could I at least obtain tens of millions of merit points? Lin Yuan thought to himself. With Lin Yuan's strength, naturally, he would make a move at the most critical moment to turn the tide of battle, which meant he would likely only act once. Goddess of freedom, will there be any 9th layer or 10th layer strong ones taking action on this battlefield of different races? Lin Yuan thought for a moment, then asked. On a medium-sized otherworldly battlefield, strong ones of the 9th layer and above rarely enter. And even if they do, there are evolvers from our human civilization of the 9th layer and above to face them, the goddess of freedom said in a cold voice, as if devoid of any emotion. So if I go to this battlefield, will there be any accidents, like being cursed and killed along with all my avatars by the different species strong ones? Lin Yuan continued to inquire. At any time, one's own safety is the most important. If Lin Yuan would have to risk his life for some merit points, he naturally would not wish for that. Merit points, for Lin Yuan, have a stable path of acquisition, and there's no need to take any unnecessary risks. As the first medium-sized otherworldly battlefield to be developed, it will be under the watch of a supreme being. Scholar Yuan only needs to focus on fighting the 8th layer strong ones of the different species, the goddess of freedom spoke again. Giving Lin Yuan's importance to human civilization, now that the goddess of freedom had agreed to let Lin Yuan go to the battlefield, it naturally followed extensive deduction, ensuring that there would be no real risk of death for Lin Yuan. Previously, when Lin Yuan had yet to step into the 7th rank, he wanted to venture into a medium-sized otherworldly battlefield but was stopped by the goddess of wisdom. It was because, at that time, Lin Yuan had a minimal chance of encountering insurmountable dangers in the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield that could involve the original body of his avatars. Only 8th layer strong ones of the different species. Lin Yuan's face revealed a smile. Then I agree. Lin Yuan nodded. With his current strength, not to mention he was the first in the 8th layer in the history of human civilization, perhaps even among all the 8th layer individuals throughout the history of the starry sky races, none could compare to him. In that battle in the Milky Way star region, Lin Yuan had not regained full strength nor had he displayed all his power. Even so, it still shook the internal units of human civilization, and the shock experienced by the surrounding different species was probably even more profound. Lin Yuan's true combat power had long since broken the threshold of the 9th rank. As for what level within the 9th rank he was, only a battle could reveal that. Upon receiving Lin Yuan's consent, the Goddess of Freedom immediately contacted the invincible 8th layer evolver on the B0001 battlefield. Not long after, they were required to meet in the virtual world to discuss the specific requirements for making a move. Void interpretation. Lin Yuan once again started to contemplate the tone left by the Moyu Tower Master. It's truly profound. Lin Yuan was somewhat engrossed. Void interpretation, comprised of 3,333 characters, each seemingly containing endless information. Each time Lin Yuan contemplated, he could discern new aspects of the essence of space from the same character. In the blink of an eye, Lin Yuan had contemplated for several days. The 7,132nd spatial model. Lin Yuan opened his eyes, his thoughts stirred slightly, and strands of spatial force converged before him, quickly forming an incredibly complex spatial model. Just over 500 more spatial models and I can fully comprehend the complete space rules. Lin Yuan let out a breath, while also sensing the weariness in his soul. Void interpretation was on such a high level that Lin Yuan's prolonged contemplation took a great toll on his heart force, making it impossible to maintain for long periods. This had nothing to do with against heaven's understanding, it was primarily due to Lin Yuan himself. If his heart force were sufficient, he could continue contemplating indefinitely. Let's take a look at the virtual world. Lin Yuan connected his consciousness to the virtual world, intending to relax for a while. Founder's virtual world. Lin Yuan's consciousness directly entered. This virtual world was specifically created for the founders of many paths of evolution within human civilization, serving as a place for the founders to communicate daily. Lin Yuan had just entered the founder's world. The great scholar Te appeared beside Lin Yuan. In the public area of the founder's world, every founder had the right to enter. Kid, it's been a long time since you've been online. The great scholar Te looked Lin Yuan over, and asked with slight curiosity. The great scholar Te was exceptionally curious about Lin Yuan. If not for the Goddess of Wisdom's intervention and warning, he would have likely used some methods to forcibly pull out Lin Yuan's real identity. I've been a bit busy, Lin Yuan replied truthfully. It was more than just a bit. The things Lin Yuan needed to do were simply too numerous: void interpretation, fusion rules, the 9 floors dark tower, and so forth. Each required a great deal of time and energy. Being busy is good. The great scholar Te nodded. By the way, in a while, the Molong scholar plans to create a virtual world specifically to discuss the essence of the space rules and rule of time. Are you interested in going? The great scholar Te glanced at Lin Yuan. The Molong scholar was one of the few scholars in the founder's virtual world who openly revealed their identity. The reason for this was that the Molong scholar was one of the most top-tier and ancient scholars within human civilization. His identity, even when made public, would not be affected. The essence of the rule of time and space rules. Lin Yuan's eyes lit up. So far, he had no particular interest in the rule of time, but space rules. Even with the void interpretation left by the demonic Jade Tower Master, Lin Yuan wouldn't mind accessing more powerful beings' understanding and views on space. Interested in going? I have an invitation. The great scholar Te asked again. Not just anyone could listen to the Molong scholar's discourse. Only those who were evolvers at the scholar level could receive an invitation. Of course, if a particular evolving scholar didn't want to participate, they could also gift their invitation to other founders. The great scholar Te had such a plan in mind. If Lin Yuan asked a second time, he would not mind giving him the invitation. Invitation. Lin Yuan paused slightly. Immediately, a virtual screen appeared, and upon opening the mail section, an invitation from the Molong scholar was displayed. Are you referring to this invitation? Lin Yuan turned to look at the great scholar Te. You. The great scholar Te blinked several times, scrutinizing the invitation before finally turning to Lin Yuan in disbelief. When did you become a scholar too? Chapter 5:15 Comprehending the Complete Space Rules. Subscription requested. The reason Molong Scholar only sent invitation letters to scholars of the Evolver level is that the essence of space and time he speaks of is very difficult for founders below the level of a scholar to comprehend. Even listening for a while longer can create cognitive barriers and affect their own understanding of space and time. Without reaching a certain height, forcibly knowing information of that height often has the opposite effect. Great scholar Te planned to give the invitation to Lin Yuan because through their interactions over time, he confirmed that Lin Yuan's aptitude and comprehension were extremely formidable. It would be more beneficial than harmful if he could have the opportunity to listen to Molong Scholar's lecture. That was the reason for their conversation just now. Anyhow, great scholar Te himself wasn't particularly interested in Molong Scholar's lecture since he had heard it many times before, and missing it once was no big deal. But Lin Yuan was different. In great scholar Te's eyes, Lin Yuan was a newcomer, his junior, who had never been in touch with Molong Scholar before. As a founding scholar and predecessor within human civilization, great scholar Te felt it was his duty to look after Lin Yuan. However, when great scholar Te saw that Lin Yuan had an invitation identical to his own, he became somewhat stupefied. An invitation meant only for Evolver scholars appeared in Lin Yuan's hands. What was going on? Great scholar Te's thoughts whirled, and he immediately thought of the only possibility. That was that Lin Yuan was also an Evolver scholar. That was why he had said, "When did you become a scholar too?" After all, in great scholar Te's eyes, Lin Yuan had definitely not been an Evolver scholar before. Otherwise, the goddess of wisdom would not have prevented him from retrieving Lin Yuan's information so adamantly. After giving some perfunctory responses to great scholar Te for a while, Lin Yuan disconnected from the virtual world. Lin Yuan felt indifferent about great scholar Te discovering his true identity. Every Evolver scholar of human civilization is absolutely trustworthy. Just pioneering a stable evolution path at the 8th layer is merely a prerequisite to becoming an Evolver scholar. Molong Scholar, Lin Yuan looked at the golden invitation letter once more. He hadn't taken it seriously when he first received it because Lin Yuan was still too young. Having not experienced many things, he was unaware of what Molong Scholar's lectures meant, and the three goddesses would not always remind him. Furthermore, the invitation letter did not mention anything about the rule of time or complete space rules. If it weren't coming from Molong Scholar, Lin Yuan might not even have given it a second glance. I might as well listen when the time comes, Lin Yuan thought, deciding it would not be a waste of time. As Evolver scholars of human civilization focusing on specific research domains, if supreme beings represent the height of human civilization, then scholars represent its depth. The goddess of freedom has already communicated, and now the invincible Evolvers of the 8th layer on battlefield B0001 would like to meet with me and discuss in detail. Upon receiving the message from the goddess of freedom, Lin Yuan immediately agreed. The so-called discussion was naturally to take place in the virtual world. Its content would be about confirming Lin Yuan's approach, when to take action, and which of the Tianyu clan's powerhouses to deal with, among other things. All these needed to be determined through prior communication. As the invited party, Lin Yuan received a substantial amount of merit points as remuneration and naturally had to actively cooperate. In a virtual world, stood a majestic, grand palace. The short, stout elder and a group of invincible beings from battlefield B0001 who were at the 8th layer had long been waiting there. Galactic Star Master should be coming soon. Not sure if the Galactic Star Master is easy to talk to. I actually have some ties with Chikuan Starlord, the teacher of Galactic Star Master. Chikuan Starlord is forthright, so I expect the Galactic Star Master to be straightforward. The many invincibles within the palace murmured to each other in low voices. Galactic Star Master was indeed very powerful, capable of killing 2 invincibles of the 8th layer, but the enemies they were about to face were many strong members of the Tianyu clan, a peak clan. If one or two invincibles at the 8th layer couldn't match Galactic Star Master, what about 10 or 8 of them? Galactic Star Master would definitely have to pay a price to hold them off. If Galactic Star Master was unwilling to pay that price and didn't work hard enough, then it would be their headache. After all, they couldn't dare to demand that Galactic Star Master must hold back the many strong beings of the Tianyu clan. That request would be too much. Who knew how many invincibles at the 8th layer the Tianyu clan could mobilize? As one of the peak clans, the Tianyu clan certainly had the capability to bring hundreds of invincible 8th layer powerhouses over. And each invincible powerhouse at the 8th layer working together with various secret treasures could unleash terrifying power. Suddenly, a figure appeared out of nowhere in the palace, his gaze serene, looking at the many invincible evolvers with a smile and saying, "Hello everyone, I am the Galactic Star Master." Galactic Star Master, greetings, Galactic Star Master, over here, Galactic Star Master. One after another, the invincibles at the 8th layer immediately showed their enthusiasm. After all, they were relying on Lin Yuan in the upcoming war, so naturally, they couldn't be indifferent now. Galactic Star Master, the short, stout elder spoke with a solemn expression, looking sincerely at Lin Yuan. Bai Yun Lord, Lin Yuan nodded slightly. This short, stout elder, named Bai Yun, was the Star Lord of the Bai Yun Star Domain. The cosmic force he had mastered might not be a high-level cosmic force, but among ordinary cosmic forces, it was quite powerful. Many invincible beings at the 8th layer in the B0001 exotic battlefield generally regarded Bai Yun Lord as their leader. Chapter 516 Comprehending the Complete Space Rules, Subscription Requested, _2, Now, let me introduce the battlefield situation to the Galactic Star Master, Bai Yun Lord said. Please do, Lin Yuan nodded. Currently, on the battlefield, the Tianyu clan holds the advantage, with 67 invincible experts of the 8th layer, and in addition 212 layer A war machines, as well as 2,300 normal 8th layer experts. Up to now, we human evolvers can only struggle to counter the Tianyu clan's offensive. However, in the upcoming all-out war, if nothing changes, I estimate that our human side will be defeated. Bai Yun Lord's voice was grave. Once the Tianyu clan was victorious, the evolvers of human civilization would face a great escape. Even those who were invincible at the 8th layer could not guarantee their safe retreat. It's almost impossible for one 8th layer invincible being to be defeated by another of the same rank. However, on the battlefields of different races, due to obvious space fluctuations, those at the 8th layer cannot use instant translocation abilities. Once trapped in an encirclement by multiple opponents of the same rank, even an 8th layer invincible might face the possibility of falling. Of course, the 8th layer invincibles who dare to enter the battlefield are mostly avatars, but cultivating an avatar that is close to the strength of the original is not an easy task. The fall of an avatar is a huge loss for the original. After all, to maintain the combat power of an avatar, it's necessary to carry weapons of the same rank. And these weapons are not cheap. So that's how it is, Lin Yuan nodded. The situation was as he had expected. If human civilization was in an advantageous position on the battlefield, there would be no need to request his assistance with a large payment of merit points. How much time do we have before the all-out war begins? Lin Yuan inquired. It's estimated to be between 5 and 10 years, Bai Yun Lord pondered for a moment and said. The Tianyu clan would need a considerable amount of time to mobilize for a full-scale war, and Bai Yun Lord guessed it would be at least 5 years. If any unexpected events occurred, it might even take 10 years. I understand, Lin Yuan nodded. I will rush to the battlefield within 5 years. Naturally, Lin Yuan's rush to the battlefield meant that his avatar would, while his true body would still sit at the Milky Way main star. Although Lin Yuan's primordial spirit, unlike the doppelganger skill practiced by other human evolvers, wouldn't die if the original fell, the resurrection would happen within the primordial spirit. However, Lin Yuan's true original body had too many things to do and naturally couldn't afford to go to the battlefield. Indeed, with Lin Yuan's current strength, even as an avatar, without the enhancement of 100 million Li inner world, he could still crush all 8th layer invincibles. Thank you, Galactic Star Master, Baiyun Lord immediately expressed his gratitude. However, which of the Tianyu clan's experts does the Galactic Star Master plan to deal with? Baiyun Lord asked. The power of the invincibles of the Tianyu clan varied in strength, so Baiyun Lord needed to confirm the range of Lin Yuan's targets. How many can you handle? Lin Yuan asked. We can probably deal with 50 of the Tianyu clan's 8th layer invincibles, Baiyun Lord said after pondering for a while. No problem. Leave the rest of the 8th layer invincibles to me, Lin Yuan nodded. The rest are nearly 28th layer invincibles, Baiyun Lord was somewhat surprised. He originally thought Lin Yuan would find it challenging since nearly 28th layer invincibles, even just to hold off, would be incredibly unbelievable. If Lin Yuan hadn't achieved the impressive feat of slaying 2 8th layer invincibles, Baiyun Lord would have found it absurd. Rest assured, I know what I'm doing, Lin Yuan said. Even as an avatar, mastering dozens of cosmic forces would allow him to unleash combat power that could surpass a union of 28th layer invincibles. Furthermore, based on Lin Yuan's estimation, in 5 years, with the aid of void interpretation, he would likely have fully grasped the complete space rules. By then, his combat power would increase even further. It was known that for an 8th layer being to comprehend the complete space rules was much harder than understanding a particular cosmic force. At the same time, an 8th layer being who comprehended the complete space rules would be stronger than the invincible ones of the same rank. In history, every 8th layer being who had grasped the complete space rules at that level was able to intimidate the other invincibles of their rank. Qikuan Main Star. Lin Yuan's Taiyang Divine Spirit emerged from the 13 peaks and headed toward the B0001 exotic battlefield. Leaving the Taiyang Divine Spirit on the Qikuan Main Star was primarily to prevent extreme situations where Lin Yuan's true body might perish, allowing him to resurrect and return at the fastest speed. In fact, even without the Taiyang Divine Spirit stationed on the Qikuan Main Star, Lin Yuan could still resurrect. After all, aside from the Taiyang Divine Spirit, Lin Yuan had also left a drop of his essence blood on the Qikuan Main Star. By utilizing the physical body divine ability Blood Rebirth, Lin Yuan could still resurrect, though without the assistance of the Taiyang Divine Spirit, the resurrection process would be somewhat slower. In fact, not just on the Qikuan Main Star, Lin Yuan had left a drop of his essence blood in many hidden places, serving as a backup for resurrection. It will probably take 3 years to reach the B0001 battlefield. The Taiyang Divine Spirit boarded the spaceship, continuously performing wormhole shuttle, rapidly heading toward its target. Milky Way Main Star. Lin Yuan's consciousness descended into his inner world. World Tree. Lin Yuan gazed at a young tree rooted in the world center. Compared to the very beginning, the world tree was no longer young, standing nearly 10 meters tall. Its branches swayed, emanating the gentle cosmic force, continually harmonizing the many energies and rules within the inner world. It truly deserves the human civilization's designation as 11-star top-grade cosmic rare treasure. Lin Yuan looked toward the world tree, a smile appearing on his face. In human civilization's evaluation of various treasures and rarities, the world tree was ranked as 11-star, and it was a premium among the 11-star rarities. To think, the Thunder Heart that Lin Yuan had previously purchased for over 10,000 cubic universe crystals was only an 8-star rarity, an 11-star rarity. Furthermore, a premium 11-star would probably make even supreme beings envious. With the world tree anchoring the inner world, I also won't need to purchase any more cosmic rare treasures, Lin Yuan secretly thought to himself. Integrating many cosmic rare treasures into the inner world aimed at bringing the inner world closer to a true world, but with the world tree's suppression, the inner world was already hardly any different from a real world. Time passed by. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had gone by. Milky Way Main Star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, with silver-white characters continuously flashing through his mind. Space. Lin Yuan, too, was comprehending, feeling the vastness of space more and more. The main world universe starry sky belonged to space, and even beyond the universe was still considered space. Even if one were to fully comprehend the complete space rules, it would merely be grasping one aspect of the vast space. The demonic Jade Tower Master's understanding of space has transcended any particular aspect. Though it's not as straightforward as the space model in explaining the essence of space, at higher levels, void interpretation is still more helpful to me. Lin Yuan faintly felt that he had grasped one facet of the essence of space. The many space models of human civilization were more broadly disseminated, making them more acceptable and understandable for evolvers, while the void interpretation written by the demonic Jade Tower Master, without the talent and insight for space, it was estimated that one couldn't even begin to comprehend it. The 7779th kind of space model, the 7780th kind of space model, the 7781st kind of space model, Lin Yuan felt his grasp and understanding of space skyrocketing at a tremendous speed. 3 years of contemplating void interpretation greatly aided Lin Yuan. Even if it was just a period of contemplation followed by a period of rest, it had an indelible impact on Lin Yuan's understanding of the essence of space rules. Time flew by. Another 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. Ha ha ha, Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, looking up into the depths of the cosmic starry sky, where all space unfolded before him like sheets of paper. Lin Yuan could even effortlessly tear through one of these sheets and appear before a distant and separate sheet. Great transference skill, this is the great transference skill. Lin Yuan chuckled softly to himself. Having penetrated the complete space rules, he could traverse hundreds of light years in a single step. This was the great transference skill. Marvelous, truly indescribable. Lin Yuan sighed, now thoroughly comprehending one aspect of space, mastering the complete space rules. Chapter 517 Black Tower Second Layer. Please subscribe. Space rules, one of the pillars that the universe relies on for its operation. What are pillar rules? Without space rules, the universe would become imperfect or even collapse. All existence, all things, must rely on space. It is the foundation of everything. Having fully mastered space rules, even if just one aspect, Lin Yuan's perception of the outside world has drastically changed. Before grasping space rules, Lin Yuan was like a fish in water, limited to its immediate surroundings, but after mastering space rules, it was as though he leapt out of the water, able to see more, to look further. Space rules, perhaps not as mystical as the rule of time, which can reverse the flow and resurrect the dead, but its permeation into all things is much deeper. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Only now has he fully reached the 9th rank, without mastering space rules, even if his combat power surpassed the threshold of the 9th rank. Fighting against another 9th rank powerhouse, they could come and go as they pleased, using their manipulation of space to toy with Lin Yuan at higher levels. Like a whale living at the bottom of the ocean, despite its immense strength, it cannot threaten the life on land. Mastering space is just the beginning. Next, I must fuse the Taiji rule with many cosmic forces with the complete space rules, to carve my own path. Excitement swelled within Lin Yuan. The path of the 9th rank was almost at hand, only the final integration of the fusion rules was needed to step into the 9th rank. In the 10,000 races of the cosmic starry sky, the 9th rank truly represents a profound existence. Many weak and ordinary clans' most powerful ancestors are only at this level. My inner world. Lin Yuan's consciousness descended into his inner world, only to discover that his once billion-mile inner world had once again started to expand greatly. Fortunately, Lin Yuan had anticipated this and took out the time micro-clear crystal he had prepared in advance, merging it into his inner world. The sound of rushing water. It wasn't long before the inner world expanded to a size of 1.31 billion miles in diameter. The dense world force operated, where ordinary 8th-layer invincibles would be crushed in the presence of such a vast world force, unable to even resist. With the current support of my inner world, fully absorbing the green liquid from the mysterious gorge should pose no difficulty. Lin Yuan thought to himself, having attempted to absorb the green liquid in recent years, but always stuck at the final hurdle, now likely to easily cross it. First, absorb the green liquid. Lin Yuan's consciousness returned to the outside world, took out the gray-green gourd, tipped it upside down, and began the absorption. Thousands of light years from the B0001 exotic battlefield. A black space vessel finished its wormhole shuttle and revealed itself. That's the B0001 exotic battlefield. Lin Yuan, inside the space vessel, looked towards the massive object thousands of light years away. The B0001 exotic battlefield, the first medium-sized otherworldly battlefield established by human civilization, spans about 12 light years. Powerful 8th-layer invincibles can also fight to their heart's content on this battlefield, without the need to hold back. Forget it, I'll just use the great transference skill for the remaining journey. Lin Yuan stepped out of the space vessel, having grasped complete space rules. Even a simple great transference skill could span hundreds of light years without any cooldown time, much more efficient than the vessel's wormhole shuttle. Of course, using great transference to travel consumes a lot of energy, so if not in a hurry, it's better to travel via ship and wormhole shuttle. Lin Yuan decided to use the great transference skill to travel, as he was only a few thousand light years away and wanted to experience the sensation of using the skill for travel. Whoosh! Edge of the B0001 battlefield. Lin Yuan's figure appeared, looking at the battlefield ahead. The spatial fluctuations are significant, far richer than those on the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield where the Taiyin primordial spirit is located, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The spatial fluctuations on the otherworldly battlefield arise from the constant battles of countless strong beings, as well as the presence of permanent spatial rifts. As the oldest of the otherworldly battlefields, in the distant past, the intensity of the battles often escalated, with 10th rank evolvers wielding supreme weapons personally entering the fray, and tearing open permanent spatial rifts wider and longer than those on other medium-sized otherworldly battlefields. The spatial rifts on ordinary small-sized otherworldly battlefields are about 10 meters to several tens of meters wide, while those on medium-sized otherworldly battlefields generally exceed 10,000 meters, ranging from 10,000 to 20,000 meters. And the largest permanent spatial rift on the B0001 battlefield reaches 30,000 meters. This is not an ordinary rift but a permanent spatial rift, an injury that even the inherent motion of the universe cannot heal. Let's check out that 30,000-meter-long permanent spatial rift first. Lin Yuan suppressed his aura and moved towards the target location. While on an otherworldly battlefield with obvious spatial fluctuations, it's best not to use the great transference skill, even if one has mastered complete space rules. Because it's easy to be affected by the fluctuating space, leading to deviation from the destination, or even a temporary loss amidst the depths of numerous spatial layers. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, with the green flames inside his body burning wildly, before settling back down to tranquility. Finally completed the absorption. Lin Yuan's consciousness descended once more into his inner world, and gazing at the quietly expanded 332 billion-mile vast realm, his face showed satisfaction. Normally, human evolvers who have mastered complete space rules have an inner world limit of 10 million miles in diameter, while those special beings with peak bloodlines, like the Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan or other unique spatial entities, have an upper limit of several tens of millions of miles. Chapter 518 Black Tower Second Layer. Please subscribe. _2 Having an inner world that surpasses 100 million miles when at the 8th layer, it's surmised that only those special life forms whose numbers are so scarce that they can't even form a tribe can achieve such a feat. The universe is fair, nurturing all beings and creatures. The more powerful the talent and bloodline of a life form, the lower and more difficult its ability to reproduce. Human civilization possesses terrifying reproductive capabilities, but the majority of talents are mediocre. The talent and bloodline of the Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan are mighty, but reproduction is extremely difficult. Yet, no matter how hard it is, the Starry Sky Wanderer Kuan can barely form a group. As for some special life forms, they're so rare that they can't even form a tribe, and their terrifying talents cannot be discussed with common sense. In the depths of the cosmic starry skies, many ancient gods who dominate their domain were born this way. Next is a blue liquid. Lin Yuan flipped his right hand, and the mysterious gourd appeared in front of him. At this moment, the color on the surface of the mysterious gourd began to change slowly, from the previous gray-green to gray-blue. Absorb. Lin Yuan inverted the gourd, and a drop of profound blue liquid dripped out. Boom! Once the blue liquid was ingested, it turned into pure blue flames, starting to burn Lin Yuan's internal organs. Several days passed. Lin Yuan had attempted several times, and his inner world had expanded to a circumference of 145 million miles. The next increase won't happen at this fast pace. It was only because Lin Yuan's inner world had reached its fundamental limit that he could double the base size in such a short time. He would have to slowly increase it afterward, bit by bit, adapting to the burning of the blue flames. After these years, I've finally amassed another 30 strands of world-breaking origin force. Lin Yuan's spirit descended into his mind, sensing the quantity of world-breaking origin force. Before the 8th traversal, Lin Yuan had accumulated 36 strands of world-breaking origin force. Arriving at the spirit realm consumed 10 strands, carrying the mysterious gourd and origin fine gold used up 2 strands. At the end of the 8th traversal, he was left with 24 strands of world-breaking origin force. And as years passed recently, Lin Yuan's world-breaking origin force had once again reached 30 strands. There's no rush for the 9th traversal. Lin Yuan pondered, as he was currently at a critical period of fusing rules. Attempting a traversal at this time would only affect the timing of his breakthrough to the 9th rank. It would be better to consider traversing again after making the breakthrough to the 9th rank and hitting a temporary bottleneck in his cultivation. After all, for Lin Yuan, cultivating in any place, whether by traversing worlds or staying in the main world, would allow him to rapidly enhance his strength. The greatest benefit of traversing worlds for Lin Yuan was the opportunity to see cultivation systems beyond the main world and to gain advantages through the differences in dimensional layers. For example, in the spirit realm, there was no suppression of cosmic force. Lin Yuan took the opportunity to comprehend dozens of cosmic forces, more than a dozen high-level cosmic forces, and even one source-level cosmic force. If this were in the main world, it would hardly be possible, and even if Lin Yuan tried to force it with his against heaven's understanding, it would waste a lot of time and disrupt later cultivation. In the spirit realm, many powers of creation were placed in front of Lin Yuan, tantamount to having the correct direction, which naturally made his comprehension quicker. But in the main world, cosmic forces could not be replicated. Lin Yuan would have to start comprehending from scratch, and he might even take the wrong path in the end. Now that I've thoroughly comprehended the space rules, I might as well try to challenge the second layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan felt a slight stir in his heart. In the past few years, when he challenged the second layer of the Black Tower, his goal had been solely to refine his use of cosmic force. He never even thought about getting through. But now, Lin Yuan wanted to give it a try. Comprehending the complete space rules was a qualitative change for Lin Yuan, and it was an all-around transformation. Aspects such as killing, defense, and survival all received a qualitative improvement. An 8th-layer powerhouse, just by comprehending the complete space rules, could give those invincible 8th layers a hard time. Even if many invincible 8th layers were to gang up, they wouldn't stand a chance against a being who possessed the complete space rules. A life form that has comprehended the space rules can travel through countless spatial layers with a single thought, and those invincible 8th layers probably couldn't even touch them. A sliver of Lin Yuan's spirit will traveled through the magic jade mark and arrived in an instant at the demon jade space. Before the towering 9 floors dark tower, stone statue Shenji looked at Lin Yuan with a smile and said, "Here to challenge the second layer again." In these past few years, Lin Yuan would come to challenge the second layer of the Black Tower whenever he had a rest, and stone statue Shinji had long grown accustomed to it. Watching Lin Yuan challenge the second layer was one of the few pleasures in its monotonous and lengthy existence. Much better than falling into a near-eternal slumber. Lin Yuan nodded. The next moment, Lin Yuan arrived at the second layer of the Black Tower. Stone statue Shinji was still standing outside the Black Tower, with scenes from within the second layer appearing before it. I wonder how long this little guy plans to hone his cosmic force. Stone statue Shinji silently pondered. Lin Yuan, through the second layer of the Black Tower, had been honing his cosmic force, which it had long noticed. Boom! The moment Lin Yuan appeared on the second layer, a heavy pressure assaulted him from all directions. If it were before, Lin Yuan would certainly have immediately activated a variety of cosmic forces to resist, as the pressure from the second layer was not something that a mere flicker of spirit will could withstand. But now, after mastering the complete space rules, with just a thought, Lin Yuan formed an absolute space around himself. Absolute space was a high-level application of the power of space, eliminating the encroaching pressure from the spatial dimension. Around Lin Yuan, it seemed only a few meters in range, but in essence, it was separated by countless spatial layers. An ordinary 8th rank evolver, when faced with absolute space, would not be able to come close, let alone attack. All attacks would be trapped within the layers of space. An 8th rank life that masters complete space rules might not be able to kill an invincible 8th rank, but it could certainly make an invincible 8th rank very miserable. Like banishing an invincible 8th rank deep into the spatial layers. There, without the distinction of up, down, left, or right, it would not be easy for an invincible 8th rank to break free, possibly being trapped for decades. I don't even need to use cosmic force. Lin Yuan raised an eyebrow. At this moment, he stood on the second layer, the space around him faintly twisting, diluting and dissipating all the pressure that bore down on him. However, Lin Yuan was also aware that he was currently at the initial position of the second layer. The closer he moved to the central staircase, the greater the surrounding pressure would become. Eventually, relying solely on absolute space, it would be difficult to perfectly resist all the pressure. Especially upon entering the central area, where endless pressure would condense into virtual creatures, attacking Lin Yuan. Let's see how far I can go. Lin Yuan didn't have much confidence in overcoming the second layer of the Black Tower, mainly after comprehending the complete space rules. His strength had greatly increased, and he wanted to try it out. Success would be great, but failure didn't matter either. Lin Yuan roughly used the second layer of the Black Tower as a benchmark to test his strength according to stone statue Shinji. Those who could get through the second layer of the Black Tower were basically the strong among the 9th rank. Although it said that the many methods of a 9th rank life form were not just about mastering various rules and cosmic forces, it was also an important aspect. If Lin Yuan could make his way through the second layer of the Black Tower, even if he couldn't be considered one of the strongest among the 9th rank, he would be stronger than more than half of them. Outside the 9 floors dark tower, stone statue Shinji was keenly watching Lin Yuan's performance. Every time Lin Yuan came to challenge the second layer of the Black Tower, it would pay close attention, a way to relieve its boredom. However, when it saw that Lin Yuan was able to easily withstand the heavy pressure from the second layer of the Black Tower just by standing there without the aid of cosmic force, it was suddenly stupefied. This stone statue Shinji carefully observed Lin Yuan, particularly noting the slightly twisted space around him. Did this little guy comprehend the complete space rules? The stone statue felt bewildered. It remembered that a few years back, Lin Yuan's understanding of the space rules was not to say average, but definitely far from complete mastery. How had he suddenly comprehended it now? Chapter 519 No harm, the Galaxy Master is watching us, just fight freely, ask for subscription. The stone statue Shinji had already greatly overestimated Lin Yuan. Over 2,000 years old, cultivated to the 8th layer. Comprehended dozens of cosmic forces. and more than 10 high-level cosmic forces. There was also a source-level cosmic force. Such a monstrous freak, no matter which universe it was placed in, would be deemed shockingly unconventional and utterly unique. But even so, how could he comprehend the space rules so quickly? Those aren't ordinary rules, they're pillar rules. The stone statue Shinji found it unbelievable. It knew that the void interpretation left by the Moyu Tower Master would definitely bring great help to Lin Yuan. But at most, it was only help. It wasn't the Moyu Tower Master himself comprehending the space rules, mainly it still depended on Lin Yuan himself. The void interpretation was profound and difficult to understand. If one couldn't comprehend it, instead of helping, it might even make things worse. How can there be such? The stone statue Shinji muttered to itself, seemingly unable to find the words to describe Lin Yuan. The second layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan used absolute space to isolate the inside from the outside, diluting and dispelling all the pressure that enveloped him. He quickly crossed 1/3 of the distance. As he delved deeper, the pressure all around became increasingly heavy and terrifying. One by one, ethereal creatures condensed, lunging at Lin Yuan with bared fangs and brandished claws. I can't hold back anymore. Lin Yuan's heart sank, and he immediately began to activate cosmic force. It was as if an endless pressure swept over him, and even with absolute space, it was difficult to completely isolate it, requiring the use of stronger measures. Q. One after another, the cosmic forces combined, with more than 10 high-level cosmic forces as the main body, and the primordial origin force as the core, all cosmic forces perfectly merged into one. For years, Lin Yuan had often used the pressure of the second layer of the Black Tower to hone himself, to refine his use of cosmic force, naturally not without gain. This method of merging all cosmic forces was Lin Yuan's greatest achievement, allowing the power of each type of cosmic force to nearly double in strength. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Yuan, under the attack of one ethereal creature after another, strode towards the center. Outside the 9 floors dark tower. Stone statue Shinji paid close attention to the situation in the second layer of the Black Tower. If he's relying solely on these, it would be very difficult to get through the second layer. Stone statue Shinji whispered to itself. It used very difficult to express its opinion. Very difficult, but not impossible. After witnessing Lin Yuan's short period of comprehending the complete space rules, stone statue Shinji didn't dare to be too certain about anything for fear of being proven wrong later. There was no helping it, Lin Yuan had already created too many miracles. So now it took any view with a degree of uncertainty. The pressure towards the back of the second layer will grow ever greater, stone statue Shinji thought to itself. Many 9th rank beings could often traverse the first 2/3 of the distance. But in the last third, they would be crushed, leading to a failed trial. With the manner Lin Yuan was exhibiting, he was very likely to end up much like those 9th rank beings who failed their trials. After all, 9th rank lives that could break through the second layer of the Black Tower found the first 2/3 of the journey quite easy. The second layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's steps increasingly slowed, and when he reached the last third of the distance, the horrifying pressure felt almost tangible, filling every inch of the vacuum. Without using the strengthening divine ability, it's very difficult for me to penetrate the second layer with my own strength. Lin Yuan inwardly sighed, with the Black Tower's second layer proving itself to be especially prepared for 9th rank lives. He had comprehended the complete space rules and mastered so many cosmic forces, yet there was no hope to break through. Let's see further. Walk a few more steps. If the timing is right, then use the strengthening divine ability. Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts, as such divine ability could only be maintained for the duration of 10 breaths, so he had to get as close as possible, otherwise, he would be terribly at a loss if the divine ability's duration ended and he was just a bit short of breaking through. The strengthening divine ability was not the same as absolute space or cosmic force, it required Lin Yuan to pay a significant short-term price. You wouldn't want to fail to get through the second layer and then find yourself weakened. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Yuan trudged painfully through. After half an hour, he arrived at a position about 50 meters from the central area. At this point, Lin Yuan could almost be described as unable to take a step further, with the extreme pressure locking him firmly in place. If it weren't for absolute space and the many merged cosmic forces isolating him, Lin Yuan guessed he would be crushed in an instant. Only 50 meters left, that's enough. Lin Yuan steadied his spirit and slowly closed his eyes. At the same time, on the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's true body opened his eyes. Whoom. Threads of crimson aura intertwined and collided, forming a complex divine ability imprint. As soon as this divine ability imprint appeared, it quickly fused into Lin Yuan's physical soul, and in an instant, his physical vitality began to surge, increasing tenfold in strength. The physical body drove the soul, and the soul drove the spirit will, and in a moment, all of Lin Yuan leapt tenfold. In the demon jade space. The second layer of the Black Tower. The moment he actively activated the strengthening divine ability, this thread of Lin Yuan's spirit will also surge tenfold. As a result, the might of his absolute space, the power of dozens of cosmic forces, all soared at once. The strengthening divine ability only affected aspects like Lin Yuan's physical soul and spirit will, it didn't enhance the power of rules or forces like cosmic force. But the increase in spirit will affected these aspects nonetheless. Spirit will is fundamental. For example, the same level of perception of the space rules, when wielded by an 8th layer being as opposed to a 9th rank being, produces a wholly different level of might.